Diddy captured on camera assaulting Cassie. LA 2016.
All right, y'all. I'm hesitant on just showing the actual footage. So I'm going to show a little bit of it, but just so y'all know, what just happened is literal proof that Diddy did all of the horrendous things that he was accused of. And I have made countless videos of Diddy and how I hope this man goes to prison and shares a bunk bed with R. Kelly. I talked about in a previous video that there is a bigger issue with all of this pertaining to Diddy and people like Diddy, also R. Kelly, is their hatred or their lack of love for women. It literally comes from their mothers. And some people may not understand this, but this is a real thing. And one of the reasons why I came up with my Deep Discussions card game is so men and women can understand a person's emotional pathology and where they come from, so you can know what type of time these people are on. So y'all come on in and we want to talk about it. And we're going to have a bigger discussion versus just showing the footage. What's up, October 3074? I'll drop the link if anybody wants to come up and talk about this, because this is a sensitive conversation. And more and more and more things are coming in. So I'm going to keep an eye on CNN, and we're going to talk about this. So as we talk, I'm going to be paying attention to CNN to find out what's coming out next. So everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. Y'all ain't even hit no like button. Y'all ain't did nothing. Everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. So here we go.
New surveillance footage obtained exclusively by CNN appears to corroborate some of
Hold on, is this video?
Sean Diddy Combs. The video, captured on multiple cameras, shows Combs.
What's up, Shira? What's going on, y'all?
Assaulting his then girlfriend, Cassie Ventura.
So let me first say, for any of you women who have been through this before, this is circulating all over the place. So I don't just want to just throw this out at you, because you may turn around and say, oh my God, I wasn't ready for this. So what I'm about to show you is triggering. It's hurtful. It's something that some of you have dealt with before. So I don't just want to spring this out on you, but I'm about to play the footage. But it's not about the footage, y'all, because I know people are like, ooh, what happened? It's a bigger conversation to have other than just the footage, because some of y'all have footage in y'all brains because of the memories of what y'all went through. I've dealt with women who have dealt with men that have dealt with this. I mean, dealt with women who have exes that did this. I have ex-girlfriends that would leave me, we broke up, and then I would check on her and kind of find out that the man after me did something crazy to her. So shout out to LeBron, will never be as great as Jordan. Cuff Puff. Hey,
Aaron.
Hey, so I need you to be my correspondent, so you able to look at TV and stuff and find out what else is going on. But let me show the footage. So everybody, this is a trigger warning, but I'm about to show the footage, and then we're going to get into what we can do about this as just normal everyday people. What's up, Yoselin?
Music mogul, Sean Diddy Combs. The video, captured on multiple cameras, shows Combs assaulting his then girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, in a hallway at a Los Angeles hotel in March 2016. A lawsuit filed by Ventura in November last year and settled the next day referenced actions that seem to match those seen in this video.
So in the last part of the video, he literally dragged her up the hall.
There is no audio. According to the complaint, Combs became extremely intoxicated and punched Miss Ventura in the face, giving her a black eye, which, according to the lawsuit, prompted Ventura to try and leave the hotel room. The surveillance video obtained by CNN begins as she enters the hallway. The complaint says as she exited, Mr. Combs awoke and began screaming at Miss Ventura. He followed her into the hallway of the hotel while yelling at her. The complaint goes on to say he grabbed her and then took glass vases in the hallway and threw them at her.
Oh, baby, if it wasn't a rap for Diddy before, it's a rap for him now. So something that was outlined in Cassie's lawsuit, something happened in 2016 in the law.
Remember, 2016. Keep that in mind, 2016, because the thing I want to have a conversation about is how is this footage just coming out? Somebody had this footage since 2016. So I want y'all to keep that in mind. This is bigger than this footage. 2016, somebody had this footage. Why is this just coming out? So I'm gonna finish playing that video, but what are your thoughts thus far before we get started?
It's horrible. I'm not shocked though. I've he looks evil to me, but as far as that's just horrible. And my issue, and I know you have your issues. My issue is so many people were calling Cassie a money grabber and this and that, and like she had no ground to stand on. And I'm just glad she got some justice,
I'm even looking at Cassie though, because I'm like, who had this footage? Like, does she have this evidence? Like, I want to know why it's just coming out, because he could have been locked up. Because the thing about it is, I'm thinking about after Cassie, right?
Right.
Does a person, whether it's Cassie, whether it's whoever had this footage, whoever has been holding on to this footage for these many years, do they not care about the person after Cassie?
That's the thing. I think he was probably paying people off. But as your correspondent, the word on the street right now is that our boy Curtis Jackson located this and leaked it to the media.
So they're saying CNN leaked it. So you saying P. Diddy leaked this to CNN, or
no, Curtis Jackson, 50 Cent. He said he was going to make it his mission when this all came out to find the tapes to prove that he did what he did. And the word on the street, now I don't know if that CNN has not told anybody how they got the video, but the word on the street is that 50 Cent is the one, and they said he got some more tapes too, like from the mansion.
So you're saying 50 Cent possibly has tapes and more tapes, and okay, let's just play the footage. Okay, gotcha. Okay, because my biggest hang up is 2016, and we're almost 10 years later, and I'm just wondering why this, like, did they get this from the raid? But you're saying 50 Cent got this, because I was assuming that they got this from the raid and it's just coming out because they just got a hold of it. So let's see.
The complaint says as she exited, Mr. Combs awoke and began screaming at Miss Ventura. He followed her into the hallway of the hotel while yelling at her. The complaint goes on to say he grabbed her and then took glass vases in the hallway and threw them at her.
Oh, baby, if it wasn't a rap for Diddy before, it's a rap for him now. So something that was outlined in Cassie's lawsuit, something happened in 2016. In the lawsuit, she said that Diddy got very intoxicated, and when they're in their hotel room, he her in the eye, leaving her with a black eye. So when she thought he fell asleep, she left out the hotel room. And in footage that CNN has now shown us, Cassie walks down to the elevator with her things in her hand to leave. And in the footage, we see Diddy running down the hallway in a towel, by the way.
So she was at the elevator. So hold on. So I'm going to show better footage, y'all. So trigger warning. This is better footage because I want to figure out what's going on in the video. So trigger warning. This one is not going to have anything bleeped out.
Diddy captured on.
All right. So hold on a second. Hold on. No, that's not it. This is it. This is it right here.
Allegations of abuse against music.
Okay. So I'm going to put this on a big screen. So I want to figure out what exactly is going on, and trigger warning to everybody watching. So here we go.
New surveillance footage of
Okay, so this is her sneaking out of the hotel room with her
obtained
bag.
exclusively by CNN appears to corroborate
So on the left is the actual I guess
some of the allegations of abuse
so here he comes.
against music mogul Sean Diddy Combs.
He was in a shower.
The video captured on multiple cameras.
So she's at the elevator trying to get out. All right. Exactly. I got you. October 3074.
Shows Combs.
So right here, I'm going to skip past it a little bit because I don't want no problems. So she is at the elevator. So apparently he was in the shower. So he's now picking her. He picking the stuff up. Like he's like, you about to get your ass back in the room, right? So now he's, because for anybody wondering exactly who, what, when, where, why, and how, that's what it is. He was in a shower, and that's her bag, and that's her other bag, and she tried to sneak out while he was in the shower, and she was at the elevator
In March 2016.
So he's grabbing her stuff, and I'm gonna go past this. Of course, he does some stuff to her, and then right here, he actually drags her back to the room. So I just wanted to show y'all that part. And this is the rest of it right here.
To the complaint, Combs became extremely intoxicated and punched Miss Ventura in the face, giving her a black eye, which, according to the lawsuit, prompted Ventura to try and leave the hotel room. The surveillance video obtained by CNN begins as she enters the hallway. The complaint says as she exited, Mr. Combs awoke and began screaming at Miss Ventura. He followed her into the hallway of the hotel while yelling at her. The complaint goes on to say he grabbed her and then took glass vases in the hallway and threw them at her. In the surveillance video, Combs can be seen.
I had to stop it. So let's see what he does next, because there's a little bit more footage.
Turns and appears to.
So let's see what is he doing here. Let's see, because these are different camera footages. A lot of people only seen this first part right here. So I got actually more footage than other people.
Ventura is seen.
So that's her
picking up a hotel phone. Combs seems to walk back to the hotel room, then returns and appears to shove her in a corner.
So it's more.
Moments later, he can.
So right here, she's laying in the corner right here.
Be seen
and now there's a vase.
Throwing an object.
You see that? There's a vase sitting on the table. So I want y'all to see how big this vase is. So as you can see, I'm back. Storm has, okay, hold on. Where you at? You ain't in the back. Okay, so I'm gonna put this on a bigger screen. All right, so what I want y'all to see is how big this vase is. Back up a little bit more. I want y'all to see how big this vase is.
To shove her in a corner.
So he shoved her in the corner right here.
Moments later.
So you see in the middle, y'all see is a vase, right? Look how big it is.
He can be seen.
He sits down.
Throwing an object in.
He picks it up.
her direction.
Shit, man, that's crazy.
According to Ventura's now settled lawsuit, the pair began dating several years after they met in 2005. They parted ways in 2019. Combs' attorney said the decision to settle was in no way an admission of wrongdoing. Ventura declared,
Yo, we got to get these likes up. We got to get these likes up. We got to get these likes up. So right now, everybody, I know y'all looking at what's going on, but y'all got to hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. If every single person watching hits the like button, like, you know, I'm a content creator, the views will go from where we at now to like 5,000 views. I've seen it happen at least, what, 8, 9 times. So I need everybody watching to hit the like button and share this video. Hit the like button, share the video. Hit the like button, share the video. See, the views are going up already, and a few of you have already hit the like button. So imagine what can happen if everybody watching hits the like button. So right now, the more people hitting the like button, the higher the live views are going in real time. In real time, the more people are watching because y'all are hitting the like button and because y'all are sharing the video. So Facebook, y'all are not hitting the like button. Facebook, y'all are not sharing the video. Share the video, hit the like button. All right. You there? You there?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
here. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Okay. Did you hear any new information yet?
No, nothing yet.
Okay.
declined to comment on the video, but her attorney told CNN the gut-wrenching video has only further confirmed the disturbing and predatory behavior.
So Gibbs Thomas says, can we talk about the video? Yes, I just dropped the link. So I'll drop the link. You got something, Gibbs? So I'm dropping a link. So I dropped the
That base
StreamYard
was
link.
huge. Did you
That
see
base
that?
was huge. Yeah. So Stephanie Pink says, if we hit the like button, will it increase his chances of going to jail? Possibly yes, because, and I'm not joking, I want y'all to understand this. One of the ways people end up going to jail or getting prosecuted is because of public outcry. Okay.
Public opinion.
Right. So public outcry is a real thing. So yes, to a certain degree, if more people, all of you hit the like button, share this video with every person you know, and it gets everywhere, and other people's videos on other people's YouTube channels are getting everywhere, it actually puts more pressure on prosecutors, district attorneys, because you know we're in election year. Everything that we do as a group, as a community, affects the people that are actually voting. So you got so everything affects everything. So yes, everybody hit the like button, everybody share this video, because it might sound crazy, but you hitting the like button and this video going out to more people would actually put more pressure on the judicial system to actually get this man prosecuted. So your answer is yes. But go ahead, Cookie, you said something?
No, I was saying that the court of people's opinion is huge. It's like with the Me Too movement. All those people got
Mhm.
thrown in jail because
Because of public
people was
outcry, right?
outside Me Tooing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So something that was outlined in Cassie's lawsuit, something happened in 2016. In the lawsuit, she said that Diddy got very intoxicated, and when they're in their hotel room, he her in the eye, leaving her with a black eye. So when she thought he fell asleep, she left out the hotel room. And in footage that CNN has now shown us, Cassie walks down to the elevator with her things in her hand to leave. And in the footage, we see Diddy running down the hallway in a towel, by the way, so clearly in a haste. When he gets to Cassie, he knocks her in the back of the head so hard that she falls on the floor. And then he repeatedly kicks her while she's on the floor, gathers her things, and then tries to drag her back to the hotel room. That man is a sicko, a real sicko. And some of y'all really had the nerve to still go up against what Cassie was outlining in her lawsuit, even though a man with that much money who could have went the distance up against her with a lawsuit settled against her within what, a day? Hello? Yeah, and I'm not saying he's gonna lose all his money. I'm not saying that. But baby, in the court of public opinion, oh, his ass is done.
We are just collectively failing women in this world. When
Fact.
Cassie came out with that lawsuit, there was so much backlash from people not believing her, talking down on her because of it, all that. Now,
Yeah.
and let me say this, as men, it's our job to fix it. Women's oppression and abuse at our hands is not a problem for them to fix. That's on us, and we have to do better.
Yeah.
We need to hold each other accountable. We have to raise our sons to be better. We need to unlearn all of the misogyny that's just implanted in our brains just from being alive here. We also need to undo the harmful effects that patriarchy has had in our world. And how do we do that? We do that by listening. We need to listen to women to understand just what we need to do differently on a foundational level so things like this don't happen in the first place, so they're prevented. Make it so that people like Cassie and others that go through things like this don't need to fight for justice in the first place. That's what we gotta do. It's time. Like, this stuff, this needs to stop. And it's up to us to do it.
So here we are, 6 months from when Cassie filed the lawsuit against Diddy.
So first, I want to say this. Like I said earlier, I want to go deeper into this because people, everyday people, don't know why men are like this, and I've said it over and over again. Is important because I'm always, what's up, Francios, what's up, Fran? What's up, Fran? Try to say your whole name, but I am always here to help people see these things before they actually happen, right? How can you look in the future and see if this particular man is an abuser or crazy or whatever, right? There are always signs. So one of the things that I brought up the other day is that the relationship a man has with his mother will dictate how he treats women. And one of the things I talked about is the incestuous relationships a lot of men have with their mother, or a lot of mothers have with their children that grow up to be men. That's one thing. And then at the same time, there is what is the word? Hold on, I forgot the name of the word. You know what I'm talking about? It
No,
starts.
I'm not gonna lie. What does it start with?
God damn it! Hold on. I can't. I'm trying to think. What is yeah, Oedipus complex. That's what I was thinking about. The Oedipus complex. Remember in Baby Boy, where it looked like Baby Boy had an Oedipus complex with his mother? That actually is an actual thing, and you can trace back a man's Oedipus complex, and you'll easily see that he has or is abusing women. And somebody may say, well, if you are or have been overloved by your mother, wouldn't that make him love women? Well, with the Oedipus complex, what it actually does to young men is the mother, because you got to remember, why is a mother so loving? Why is the mother so overbearing? Why is a mother loving her son like the world is about to end? It's because she does not want her son to ever be with anybody else. So when a son turns around and gets with a girl, she pushes the girl away, and she teaches her son that girls are bad. So when you grow up with this Oedipus complex, when you grow up with this deep-seated feeling that the only person that he can trust because of what his mama taught him is his mother, and these other women are nasty gold diggers, and they're only going to take you from your mother. Guess what? It puts you in a position where you hate women. So in a lot of cases, your own mother, whether directly or indirectly, teaches you to hate women.
Hey, y'all, to the boy moms, I'm gonna need y'all to come to the front of the line real quick. All the boy moms, yeah, bring y'all ass here. I just need to know if y'all ever been through this before.
This is an example of what happens when your kid is young.
So my son just turned 16 yesterday. Shout out to him, big 16. And recently I had went through a situation where
Everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. For the people who just came in, hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button.
his phone was like ringing, and I decide I'm gonna go ahead and answer it. Right? Why the fuck did I decide I was going to answer his phone? Why do that? So in the midst of me, hello, she like, who is this?
Remember, we're talking about the Oedipus complex. I'm showing you the what actually is happening in real time with mothers and their sons, and how crazy it actually is.
Who is this? You answer Keon's phone, and I want to know who you are.
You see how she's so proud that her son is hers?
Nah, she thought I was one of his little girlfriends, right? She told me something, because yeah, you're answering Keon's phone and I want to know who you are. I said, well, who are you? I ain't even want to drop it on her just yet. Like,
see, I didn't want to drop it on her just yet. Drop what on her? Drop what? She actually views herself as her son's girlfriend. And what ends up happening because of all this, it makes the son actually not like other women, because who doesn't like other women? His mother. When your mother hates women, you follow what your mother taught you, and you grow up hating women.
as to who I was, right? Because I'm the HBIC in this motherfucker, shorty, and you just a little tag along at this point. But in any event, I digress. Who are you? No, I think you should tell me who you are because I'm his girlfriend. I said, oh, you one of them. That is so funny. Well, I'm his
Who's the other one? Her.
mother. I'm his mother. Yeah. It's me.
So let me show you what has happened with P. Diddy with this same context, because now y'all have the context, right? I'm just trying to make sure y'all understand what the context of all of this is.
Over the years about Diddy and his mom's strange dynamic, with some sources even alleging that Janice helped orchestrate those FO sessions. Not only that, on Diddy becoming a mogul, that she turned a blind eye when things got rough, even when he laid hands on her. But let's rewind a bit for some context. Diddy was born on November 1969 in Harlem, New York, to Janice and Melvin Combs. Janice shortly worked as a model before becoming a teacher's assistant, or at least that's what Diddy's Wikipedia page claims. Meanwhile, Diddy's dad Melvin served in the U.S. Air Force and allegedly had ties to the notorious drug lord Frank Lucas. In 1972, Melvin was shot dead while sitting in his car on Central Park West, and the case was never cracked. However, there were some rumors that his own crew took him out after he became a police informant. Now let's talk about Janice. She reportedly showered her son with all the love and affection in the world. And although Diddy has a sister, Keisha, Janice's focus was on Diddy. In fact, some say she was
Now listen to this part right here.
downright obsessed with him, leaving Keisha in the shadows. Diddy also never shied away from flaunting his tight bond with his mom, always giving her shout-outs and thanking her for everything she taught him.
And everybody wants to know, how in the world did P. Diddy survive all of these murder cases, all of these lawsuits? Like, why just like this situation? Remember, this footage is from 2016. So this is one of the things. Yeah, this is one of the things that P. Diddy has survived. You got anything to say?
Yeah, it just makes me wonder what happened or who he upset to the point where
That
he's
part.
no longer surviving. Yeah.
He's no longer surviving all the things that he did. So that's the thing. Something happened, and most likely I got what actually happened. I gotta get past all this Drake stuff.
Was it him
Uh
slapping Drake, the Jewish kid? I
no,
mean,
it's right.
excuse me.
It's right here.
For well over.
So this is super loud. So be careful. This is super loud. I don't know why it's so damn loud, but this is why it's happened.
Oh,
Well, this is why the veil has been lifted.
big. Puff made a lot of money for Diageo and with Diageo with Ciroc. Ciroc became so big that Diageo was fine with people thinking it was Puffy's liquor and never was.
Yeah.
Well, then here comes the De Leon.
The De Leon.
Right. And De Leon comes out, and then they buy Casamigos from George Clooney and them for $400 million. So of course, if I just spent $400 million or something, or however much they gave George Clooney his partner, I'm going to start pushing that.
Yeah.
And De Leon kind of got pushed on the back burner. And then Puff all of a sudden decides to sue them for racial discrimination. All of this shit comes out.
See
Oh
that?
yeah, that's definitely the reason.
See, I
For
don't just
sure.
sit around like, oh my God, this happened. I like to know why it happened. I'm all about why. I need to know why all these things are happening. So yeah. This is crazy.
Right after that. Right after the Cassie case came up.
Hit the like button, y'all. Hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button.
Then all the other cases from the Adult Survivors Act in New York came up. Now the kid Little Rod, who's supposed to be a videographer or a producer, produced on his last album, or his shit is coming up. He's suing everybody. All of this shit is coming right after he said, Diageo, y'all racially discriminated against me and tried to sue him. We know how a lot of people feel about black people.
Yeah.
When you get money with them and they getting a lot of money, you got to always remember in their eyes and in the back of their minds, you ain't nothing but a and that's all you ever going to be. I don't.
So let me go fast forward because P. Diddy actually said something in this. One of the few times that you see P. Diddy talking.
This had a random fact that said the federal government ran up in Diddy's house's LA mansion and his Miami mansion. And then I repeat it, and then I do.
They planted. They had
So this is it right here.
portfolio. And I couldn't get that. I had to send my people down to Mexico.
Up in Diddy's house's LA mansion and his Miami mansion. And then I repeat it, and then I do the.
No, Blue Red, don't be eating no honey buns. Talking about I'm eating honey buns. No.
Punchline. And the punchline was they found something everybody been looking for. Farnsworth Bentley.
And I just need the same 24 hours as y'all giving everybody else in your portfolio. And I couldn't get that. I had to send my people down to Mexico. They went down to Mexico, and when they got down there, they found out that there was 0 agave planted for De Leon. So there was no plan for us to be successful. It was no equal treatment. The other brands,
This
they
is who
had
he's
agave
sued.
planted. They had no agave planted for me. And sometimes you have to go check even your partners to see what's really going on. And so when I saw that, I was like, nah, I'm going to fight because it's bigger than me.
There you go.
It's about not just me, it's about we, it's about all of us. So I chose my purpose over profit. And that's the whole De Leon situation.
Diddy's former bodyguard tonight alleging that Diddy was working for the FBI as a confidential informant.
People don't realize this, brother.
That part.
First and foremost, Puff has been dodging the legal system for years.
For years.
Puff being, and this is documented, Puff being a CI for an FBI agent. They was taking some papers up to the FBI, so like when they was here in New York. They was taking paperwork up there and stuff like that. Don't know what it was, but later on found out that he was a CI.
Now, Primetime can't confirm this, but If Diddy was an FBI informant, it explains why he was giving a pass to wreak havoc, according to his producer's lawsuit.
Yep.
What Diddy wanted, Diddy got.
Savage! I'm a savage! Oh! I'm a savage!
Folks, it is time for a Diddy deep dive. Yes, a deep dive. Now, a lot of people have been talking about what's going on with Diddy right now, but no one is talking about his life, how he grew up, and how he got to this point. Now, at the age of 3, Diddy lost his father, Melvin Combs. And if you don't know who Melvin Combs is, let me let you in. Melvin was a UGG dealer, and he ran for this man, the one and only Frank Lucas. And if you don't know, all the way to New York, okay, in coffins, all right? He wasn't nothing to play with. He could literally take you out in the middle of the street and no one would blink. Now, sadly enough, Melvin lost his life during a UGG deal, okay? Someone thought he was an informant and took him out. I think around 12 years old, Janice Combs moved Puffy out of the hood, took him out of Harlem and moved him to Mount Vernon. And Diddy said it was different. He had grass, he had trees, he was playing on teams in Mount Vernon. But when you got to Harlem, everybody knew him by his last name. He even had a conversation about his dad with Frank Lucas. Now, Diddy was also quoted stating that he felt like he had the hustler mentality of his father, and he also had his spirit. And I don't know if that was a good thing, because now Diddy has put himself in a position where he is just like his dad. He's a wannabe gangster. He's got...
Somebody said, why is this story being pushed out now? I just explained it. Because he started a lawsuit with DeLeon Liquor, and now everything is coming out. That's why his house just got raided, because of the lawsuit. When you mess with a certain demographic of, other people, they have evidence after evidence after evidence, and they put it out. And next thing you know, you cooked.
People moving weight for him? Sorry.
Complex.
Huh?
He forgot who gave him his God complex.
Who gave him his God complex. Facts. Exactly. Because you black. Sometimes when you white,
Kanye
you think
been trying to tell us since College Dropout.
Yes, I totally agree. When you black, you think you a billionaire, you think you on top of the world, you gonna mess with the wrong people. Because the thing about it is, I would say all of these millionaires have some type of dirt. All of them, because I think just like with Drake, there's something going on weird with dogs. I don't know what it is, and I don't really want to know what it is, right? But the reason why that's significant is it's a possibility that in order to get the $400 million deal that he got, $400 million deal that he got, Drake possibly had to purposely do something crazy on tape. Maybe with dogs, maybe with not. I don't know. In order.
Wait, what?
It's something about dogs, and I ain't even gonna talk about it because I don't know if it's true. But it's a possibility that he had to do something crazy or weird on tape, so the people or the entity, because it's not just people, is an entity that gave him $400 million. Just in case, if he turns around and reneges on it, they got the footage of him doing something crazy and they'll release it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. It's called blackmail.
Yeah, it's a the humiliation rituals are not in the public. They're in the background on tape, on the video. So when you do something crazy, or you don't do what they tell you to do, they'll release the dogs, per se.
It's crazy because it's just modern day slavery, because they used to do that buck breaking, but it's just more in secret now because they realize they can make money off of us.
It's not modern
They
day
used
slavery.
to bend people over in front of their families.
It's not modern day slavery, though, because they're signing contracts. They're doing this because they want to. P. Diddy is not a slave. Drake is not a slave.
No. I meant
Not modern day slavery.
No, what I meant to say was they're still using slavery tactics.
How? Slavery tactics, they didn't have a choice. P. Diddy has a choice.
No, listen,
It's not.
I'm trying not to go into detail, but once upon a time,
I know what
And
you're saying, but this is not it. Is what I'm saying. It's not.
okay,
You are broke or wherever you're in your life. Here comes some white people saying, "Hey, I'll give you this amount of money. Just sign here." That's nowhere near slavery. You
so
can turn
you
around and
don't feel
say,
like they buck
no,
breaking?
no, they're signing. Okay, what don't you understand about signing your a
You
contract
know, I
and,
know
and
everything about
agreeing to
signing
do it?
contracts. I'm talking about the things that they have to do to get
You
the
don't have to
contracts.
do them. You said the things that they have to do, they don't have to do.
They're
You
making
cannot
a
sign.
choice.
There
Yeah,
is a
but
choice. You keep so think about it. You're saying slavery. You're saying the things they have to do, they don't have to do it. How's it slavery?
I wasn't equally yoking
You
it to
you
slavery.
said
I just said
modern day
they're
slavery.
slave tactics.
It's not slave tactics. Slavery is when you have to do something against your will. I don't understand. How is it slave tactics?
So you don't think Meek Mills was bunny hopping against his will?
He wasn't doing that against his will. No, they gave him some money or they agreed to back him. They got him out of jail. They did something that is holding up as a respirator for his career because Meek Mill is gone. He's trash. He's gone. Like nobody cares about Meek Mill. So the money he has, the opportunities he still gets, the fact that he's hanging out with Jay-Z, they said, "We'll give you this if you do this." So it's not slavery. He's bunny hopping. It's as an agreement. Do you see the difference?
I see the difference, but you're not listening to me, and that's okay.
You're using the word slavery.
Yeah, it's slavery tactics, is what I'm saying.
Slavery tactics denote slavery.
Okay.
How is this slavery? It
I'm
can't
not
be
saying
slavery
that I'm
tactics.
not saying that they are in slavery situations. What I'm saying is these same people that had power during slavery that were bending black men over in front of their families
Let
to
me tell you. Can you not talk about bending black men over? We got to be careful. But I want to show you what slavery actually is.
a
This is
Solving
slavery.
teacher.
Cassie.
This is slave. Hold on. What's the video? I got all these goddamn videos. That is not slavery. This is slavery.
New surveillance footage obtained exclusively by CNN appears
You see her? She's sneaking out.
I know
She
this.
don't want to be there no more.
to
And then
corroborate some of the
what
allegations of
happens?
abuse against
That's the slave owner right there.
music mogul
I
She
never
wants
said
to
that
go.
Sean Diddy
This is
Combs.
slavery
The
right here.
video, captured on multiple cameras, shows Combs
She can't leave. That is slavery. What P. Diddy is doing is not slavery. P. Diddy is a slave owner under of the other people. So Cassie is, so if you was to say Cassie and P. Diddy is modern day slavery, yes, because he is doing something that is keeping her there and he's hurting her and attacking her because she can't leave. That Diddy and Cassie is modern day slavery. Do you see the difference?
Yeah. I guess so. That's
Is
not
is
the point.
anybody beating on Diddy? No,
They beat on him in a different way.
it's not. Okay, did he agree to be beat on in that way if things went awry?
I'm sure he had no idea this was gonna happen, but
What are you talking?
I
Okay,
don't know. I
okay, hold
wasn't.
on. Did I just mention that something is going on with dogs and Drake? And I
Yeah.
literally said there's a possibility that Drake agreed to do something weird with dogs and catch it on camera. That is an agreement. That is not slavery. I just don't
Okay.
understand what you're saying about slavery. Cassie and Diddy, that's modern day slavery, not Diddy and these white people. They signed a contract and said, "All right, Diddy, you play with me, I'm gonna ruin your career. Not beat you, ruin your career. I don't give a shit. Money has nothing to do with slavery. You can take all my money. I'll go get it back. But if you beat me, I can't get that back.
I understand.
Okay. So it's not modern day slavery if nobody got beat, if nobody is held against their will. We got to stop this shit.
Okay.
We always want to compare every time something happened to a black person. Oh, slavery. No, these niggas are weirdos. These niggas are doing this shit on purpose. These niggas don't care. These men hate and despise women. The women are the slaves, not P. Diddy, not Drake, not none of these millionaires. They are agreeing. They're agreeing to do this shit.
All I
No
was
slave
going
agree to do shit.
right.
Go ahead.
All I was going to say with the point when I got around to my point was that the difference here is that they are volunteering
So
to
how is
be
that modern day
broken.
slavery? Can you? I'm starting to get a headache. Can you please explain to me if somebody is agreeing to do something and they don't get beat up if they don't do it? How is it slavery?
With it's not the slavery
So
part.
how is it compared to slavery if it's not
It's
slavery?
slavery tactics.
It's not slavery. Can you stop using the word slavery, please, and find another word? Look up, go in a thesaurus and find another word. It's not slavery.
It is.
It's not.
It is control tactics.
Okay, you can say that, but don't
It's
say slavery because it's not.
control tactics. Okay.
And it's actually not even control tactics because the person is agreeing. See, when you let me tell you something about an agreement. Okay. If you agree to do something and I don't get what I want, in most cases, in some type of contract, I get to take something back from you. That's business, not control tactics, not slavery. It's business.
Okay.
It's not slavery. It's not even control tactics.
Okay. We can move. I'm good.
I'm just sick of black people always saying some goddamn slavery. If I don't get my ass whooped for leaving you, it's not slavery. Cassie is dealing with slavery because she gets her ass whooped when she tries to leave. That's slavery. Not signing a contract. You're gonna go in my bank account. That ain't slavery. A bank account has nothing to do with no goddamn slavery. So let's just keep going because I'm getting pissed off. Shit is crazy.
You even got people like Kanye West and his bodyguard who's known him for years. I'm sorry, former bodyguard, stating that Diddy could be an informant for the feds. Now, this is just my opinion. I feel like Diddy didn't know his father well enough, so he started imitating his ass. And it just got bigger than what it should be. He took that hustler mentality and the spirit of his father and went too far. I hate to say it, but like father, like son, I just hope he doesn't end up in the same place for the sake of his children. But what do y'all think? Hey peoples, here are your Diddy updates from the last 12 hours. Let's get into it. So I know we all thought Joe Budden was a punk and he wasn't going to say nothing about Diddy, but that's wrong. He made it very clear that if Homeland Security comes to your house, you did something wrong. And the silence from all these elite celebrities, both actors and actresses, is very deafening, especially since a lot of them were at parties with Diddy in the...
And real quick, because that's another thing. We don't know where this footage came from, but this footage is from 2016, right? The people that knew about this footage since 2016 are complicit, even if it's 50 Cent. I don't give a damn who it is. Whoever if the people that mess with P. Diddy, so I can't get mad at 50 Cent because he don't mess with P. Diddy. Because if I seen footage of a friend doing something crazy, I'm just going to back away. I'm not going to find the footage, take it, and send it to the police. I'm just going to be like, yo, get away. I might tell the woman and let her do something with it and say, hey, I found the footage. You can do what you want to do because it's not my business. But I do want to make sure that you are protected. But it's not my place to go to CNN and put out some footage. but I would warn a certain group of people about this person. You know what I'm saying? What do you think about that, just as a woman? Because women, I'm sure y'all have a deeper understanding of how hurtful this is. Do you think I'm wrong for saying what I just said by not giving the footage to CNN because it's not my business to a certain degree?
I don't think you're wrong. I just think it's a standard um a standard practice in our community to just be like, hey, that ain't my business, but I'm gonna help you out. Here you go. Do what you want with it. But in reality, somebody had to, first the hotel had it.
Well, it's footage. So unless somebody's just staring at the camera, maybe they didn't see it.
Right, no. What I'm saying is somebody had to go get it from the hotel. Now that whoever that person
That's
is,
different, right? That
yeah,
person. Yeah.
whoever that person is, you went and got it. So whether they handed it to Diddy and it got raided, or whether 50 Cent bought it, however it got to these streets, but the very first person that saw it, I feel like should have
It's
turned it over to the
right.
police.
So Bride of Israel says, so you can't say nothing talking about me about whoever was holding the video. And you're right. You are wrong. You now are a gatekeeper if that's your opinion on that. My thing is this. My job as a person that is friends or associates with a person that I just found out that is doing something crazy is, one, to warn the parties involved, and two is to get away from that person. Now, earlier I said, what about the people after Cassie? Well, that would be Cassie's responsibility and not mine. So think about that. If, like I said, if it was my friend and I found out that it's on video that my friend did something crazy like this, I would give the footage or the information to the victim and let the victim do whatever she needs to deal with that. Because to a certain degree, I'm just going to back away and not be involved in it. So the victim and the parties involved, not the person that's doing it, because now he's going to try to hide it or destroy it, but the victim can do whatever they want to do with it. But that is what I said when I said, if Cassie knew about this, because you got to remember, Cassie is the person that had it done to her in a hotel, which easily understood it's on camera, right? So I said, Cassie, not me, Cassie is to a certain small degree, because of trauma, because of therapy, you don't want to relive something. So I understand that. But to a certain degree, it's Cassie's responsibility to make sure that this footage gets to the right person if she got a hold of it, because Cassie can't turn around, hey, my boyfriend beat me up, I need to see the cameras. They're going to be like, bitch, get out of here, right? You need to have a warrant to get footage, right? So I do understand that. So then it goes to the feds. But if Cassie actually got them to pull the cameras or whatever, because you got to remember, this footage is from 2016. I don't know, but I don't think hotels hold on to millions, probably billions of hours of camera footage from 8 years ago.
You got to think though. Now, I mean, everything now is digital, so it wouldn't be improbable. It wouldn't take up too much space. I mean, if you think about it in a digital way.
It still would take up gigs. I want you to think about a camera that is shining. You got to understand, It didn't just take that. It was like, ooh, look at this. No, it's just panning 24/7 for 8 years.
Like several
That's a
cameras,
lot of
actually.
gigs, huh?
Different angles, yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Just imagine how many gigs of memory, 8 years of watching one area never nonstop for 8 years.
I'm pretty sure Puffy walked out of that hotel with that footage.
See, that's
And
what I'm saying. Somebody
whoever,
got a hold of that footage when it happened,
yeah.
not in 2024. You get what I'm saying?
No.
Yeah.
Now who decided to sell it? Um or who did, because if the feds raided it, they wouldn't release it because they need it for trial. So somebody on the inside
Released
sold it.
it.
Yeah.
Sold it, had it, found it, or something. And that's the
Yeah.
thing. So that's what I'm saying. Whoever found it, bought it, or whatever, like, because remember, I said if this was my friend, I'm just going to separate myself. But if it's
Talking
a,
about Puffy, right?
yeah, if Puffy was my friend
Okay.
and I found out that my friend did this and I had some type of access to the footage, I would give it to the victim and say, hey, do something with this. Really? Everything just gonna fall? One thing, everything fell. So I would give it to the victim. So whoever had this footage, in my opinion, because I don't know, probably was Cassie. And that's why I said Cassie has a responsibility to the next woman Cassie gets with. But I have to understand that women do not want to relive certain things. So that may have been difficult for her. So that's what I said to the person in the chat that was like, oh,
And
Bride of Israel.
embarrassment too. Like she probably felt embarrassed because she was showing up
I'm
to all those.
sorry. Embarrassed. Let's go back to
Yeah,
the
and
Sean Diddy Combs.
because
The video.
because
she
I have
stayed
to take
with
my
him.
I agree. I have to take myself out of my male brain. So let's do this. Can you explain the embarrassment? Because some of us men don't understand how it's embarrassing. The word embarrassing is like, what? But what about this? What about that? And all you worrying about is embarrassment. You know what I'm saying? So in my male brain, that's what comes out. So can you explain what embarrassment means to us men?
Well, the embarrassment would come in where she makes an attempt to leave, a poor attempt to leave, and um after all of this, they were still in a relationship for another what, 3 years?
Well,
So they're
can
like,
one
so why did she, because the question that most women in domestic violence situations gets is why did you stay? Why did you stay? And over and over.
but look, this is why she stayed. She can't leave. You can see the thing about it is she
That's why I don't
she
think she had the video.
because she's with like literally the king of New York. And he has all this money, he has all this power. Let me say this.
He'd have to fight me.
He did fight her. What are you talking about? He's beating the hell out of her. Okay, did you hear about the time that they was in a car and he blanked her so badly where he broke her jaw and he put her up in a hotel for like a month until she healed? And it
Yeah, I
was a
heard about
guard
that.
outside of her hotel where she couldn't leave.
Yeah, I heard about it.
She can't go nowhere. Have you ever seen the movie? Everybody put a one in the chat if you've seen the movie, the Denzel movie, where the monster was a. Hold on, let me show y'all something. What was the name of the Denzel movie where the spirit was taking over everybody's body? You know
I
what
know
it
which
is?
one you're talking about.
What is the name of it? Ghost? No, not Ghost Town. Let's see. Hold on. What is the name of the Denzel Washington movie where he had to smoke a cigarette to kill himself to get away from the monster? Fallen. Yes, Fallen. So there's a movie. Thank y'all. Yeah, now y'all saying it. Fallen. So there's a movie called Fallen, right? And the monster was a spirit, and it was like he couldn't get away from the monster. Once he started fighting the monster, he could not get away from the monster. So it's like he's walking down the street, and somebody's like,
Yeah, it kept jumping
and then
bodies.
right. So the next thing you know, he goes across the street, and the person's like, you can't get away from me. That, to a certain degree, was Cassie. Unless she moves to Arkansas or something. So to a certain degree, like I said, I'm trying to understand, because I don't want to just say, well, she could have left, is a choice. If you are, like, for example, I don't know none about Cassie. Say all she knows is New York, right? So leaving New York, no family and no money, because she ain't got no money. Say it just doesn't make sense because you ain't got no family nowhere else. I'm just making up something, right? Because I don't know. So you only know New York. You're 19, 20, 22. You're young, right? Because when you're young, you don't really know about anything else other than your home city, right? So you say, if I get away from Diddy and all this falling type of shit, say she got away from Diddy, and every time you turn around, it's like, every time you walk by, hey, you gonna go back to Diddy? You going back? Oh my God, right? And he finally catches her because somebody told her where she at. And then next told him where she's at. And next thing you know, he drags her back, and she's just like, you know what? Fuck it. What if it was that? I don't know. I'm just saying.
I believe that, but you know, those details didn't come out until later. I feel like the reason she waited was so she could have the evidence and have the specifics. Because we
Ooh.
talking about P. Diddy here. People be like, oh, yeah, whatever. He wouldn't waste that much time with one broad. He can have whatever he want, whoever he want. And that's all going through in the back of a woman's mind. Like, what if I do say something now? Nobody's going to believe me. This is Puff
And
Daddy.
that's another part. I didn't think about that part. What a lot of men are not aware of, women would go somewhere and tell, and the person won't believe them. So now it's like, man, get out of here. So imagine you go, fellas watching, imagine you go to the police and say somebody broke in your house, and they're like, man, ain't nobody broke in your house. When you feel like, what? You know what I'm saying? So a lot of women don't tell or don't leave because it's that person's word against mine. And I'm just some little young groupie versus this media mogul. You know what I'm saying? No, P. Diddy won't do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's another
her
reason
thought
why.
process. I'm telling you.
Yeah. So Shira said Invisible Man. Invisible Man was a great movie. I might go watch Invisible Man again. That was a good ass movie. This man faked his death and became invisible and acted like he was a ghost. That shit was crazy. If anybody has not seen Invisible Man, go watch that. That shit was crazy. And it was about abuse.
The one with Kevin Bacon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that one was good. The old one is good too. I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah, Invisible Man was amazing. So real quick, pay some bills because my card game is important to y'all because y'all can potentially avoid. What do I just do? Oh, avoid men like Diddy by buying my Deep Discussions card game. So let's do it.
How about we meet up at a coffee shop and play this fun dating card game? We'll have fun and see if we're compatible all at the same time.
Ooh, what's the name of the game?
It's called Deeper Discussions.
I'm down.
Okay, meet you at 6.
Fellas, buy this card game. Ladies, buy this card game. Buy about 2 or 3 card games. The main reason why people can't stay together isn't because they don't like each other no more. It's actually because their present family issues come up or their past family issues come up. But when you play Deeper Discussions, you'll be able to understand a person's family issues up front.
This game can be played with either 2 people or an entire group. So have fun.
Question number 1. Name a time when money was the main factor why a relationship went bad.
Deeper Discussions Dating Edition. Again, these cards are good for vetting a potential boyfriend,
Candidate.
a potential girlfriend, a potential husband, a potential wife. The texture of these cards are so soft and silky, by the way. Like,
They're like, they
these
ain't
are,
gonna get
really
wore out. after you-
durable.
A dating card game for introverts who have a hard time asking the much needed compatibility questions. Deeper discussions, the card game.
All right. So you said embarrassment, which I can understand. And on top of that, it's more to that because you said ain't nobody gonna believe you anyway. Right. And this is the reasons
Yeah.
why women stay. And I can understand that. Waiting for your
And it's
set to arrive,
scary.
Naomi. Huh?
It's scary. It can be scary. I actually just lost somebody, a coworker to that same type of situation. He just eventually, banged her 9
Hmm.
times when she was trying to run away. So there's a real fear for your life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's embarrassment. There's the fact that nobody will believe you, and there's fear of retaliation. Are
Yeah.
the
Because
three?
if you can't get away at some point, if he catches you, go ahead.
Oh yeah, no. Definitely the fear for their life is
Yeah.
the third reason that a lot of women stay. Like, if I leave and he catch up to me,
Hmm.
and I've seen it happen, that he'll end me or destroy me, and that breaks my heart that, you know it's people out, humans in general can just have a disregard for life. But that's what's really going through a woman's mind. Because
And
I talked to this woman, before she passed, about this guy, and I'm like, she was like, I love him, but I'm like, girl, that's not love, but all of those reasons.
and just for the record, um, men don't have regards for life, including me, like women do, because we men can't. We have to be in a mental and emotional position to kill an animal if we need to go hunting, to defend our families. So actual protectors do not have regard for life like women do. And there's layers to that because at the end of the day, you either have regard for life or you don't, whether it's a cat or a dog or ant or a person. You know what I'm saying? Regard for life is either you have it or you don't, or you
So
have
I
a
have a
low level of it.
question.
Go ahead.
So as the men that don't have regards for life, which I can completely understand, especially in the world we live in,
Mhm.
what besides horrible mothers, in a psyche sense, what's the difference between the man that will kill an innocent, or excuse me, delete an innocent, or do that to a woman? What makes that man cross the line opposed to another man? What's your opinion on that?
It's his regard for women. See, it's not regard for life that's in question, it's regard for women.
Right.
It's how they view women. And it goes back to the Oedipus complex. See, if the world fell apart, right? I actually looked at a movie the other day about it was 80 people at a job. They just working at a job, right? Cubicles and shit. And all of a sudden, somebody came over the intercom and said, uh something crazy, right? And then all the doors in the movie in a building, you know how they have what is it? In certain cities they have
Fire doors.
yeah, storm doors, fire doors. So boom, 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 boom. So they couldn't get out, right? And they said the only way you guys can get out if you delete 10 people. And everybody was like, what? And then somehow in the movie, everybody had something. You know how in weird places of the world, or this probably in America, they'll put something under your hand and you can scan stuff. You ever heard of that?
Yes, I have.
Right.
They're
So
doing it already.
right. So they had something in their necks where they don't have to use badges to get in a job. It's something in their neck, right? So the company that was doing this was like, if you don't delete 10 people, we'll delete 20 people. And it was like, what are you talking about? And it was like, okay, time's up. Bop, bop, bop. And people like, ah, and their heads just started exploding because they had this thing in the back of their neck. And it was like a boom, and it blew the back of their head up, right? So at some point, there was just like, okay, there's a 10 for 20 thing where if we don't do this to 10 people, 20 of us are going to go. And they kept doing it over and over again until everybody, except for one person, there's always one person in the movie. And
right.
Guess what? Me, I'm like, all right, let's do it. Because for survival, we're gonna knock off people. But with me, it's gonna be men. I ain't gonna do that to no women. So
right.
I'm gonna go find whatever I need to find to save my life, and I'm gonna knock off 10
the
dudes.
men that's going after the women.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna go after the women because they're mothers. I'm not gonna do that to nobody's woman or wife or whatever, nobody's daughter.
That's what I'm saying. But there would be men that would actually target the women because
They would target the women, right?
Yep.
So it's a different mentality. So men or certain types of men do not have regard for life, and it actually keeps us alive, because you don't want to be with no man who has this regard for life, or a little puppy's like, oh my God, I can't do this. Don't nobody have time for that shit. Because like I said, the world ends and you got a man, you need to have him, let's go. Boo, boo. He got to do what he got to do, right? So
right.
You get what I'm saying? So the thing about it is, it's not no regard for life. We don't have a regard for life yet like y'all do. Let somebody fuck with me. They gone in a snap. I don't give a shit. So I don't have regard for life like women do, but I do have regard for women.
For the innocent.
Because they're children to me. They're like little puppies and shit, with titties. I'm not gonna do that.
Oh my God.
Women, babies, and puppies and kittens. I'm not doing that. Like, let a cat, I'm gonna tear it up. Like, get the fuck out of here. Because a cat can hurt me. A kitten can't, a puppy can't, a woman can't. So having the regard for the innocent.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
You get what I'm saying? So that's the difference. So hopefully that answered your question, or did I not answer your question?
You answered the question. It's the regard for the innocent. Because I was just like, what makes you, the defenseless, not necessarily innocent, but the defenseless. Like, that was wild. What he did to her while she was already down. And that's just that's a whole saying. Never kick a man while you down. Like,
right. So that part, not life, but the defenseless. Even animals aren't going to attack a baby because, unless the animal is hungry, you know what I'm saying? So the thing about it is regards for defenseless and not life.
Yeah, no, there's been cases where they found human babies that got taken by animals with no regard, and lions come in fighting them off, and they'll be finding the baby safe in the lion's den. You know what I mean? And
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
So but that's why they call it a pride. They have a certain pride about what they kill, how they kill, and who they kill.
Yeah. So for those who did not see, put a 1 in the chat if you have not seen the footage or you want to get caught up on everything. So I just want to make sure. Put a 1 in the chat if you have not seen the footage or you're confused or you want to be caught up. Actually, I'll just keep going.
The video, captured on multiple cameras, shows Combs assaulting his then-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, in a hallway at a Los Angeles hotel in March 2016. A lawsuit filed by Ventura in November last year and settled the next day referenced actions that seem to match those seen in this video.
So now let's go to it's more footage that a lot of other people don't have.
His then-girlfriend.
So
I was about to say there's another angle.
what that I haven't showed?
Are you
So
about to show the angle of him dragging her?
hold on. No, here it is. Here it is.
He's 16.
Oh, that's not it. I think this is it.
Ventura to try and
Okay, this is it right here. So this is more footage because this footage is when she calls the phone.
which, according to the lawsuit, prompted Ventura to try and leave the hotel room. The surveillance video obtained by CNN begins as she enters the hallway. The complaint says as she exited, Mr. Combs awoke and began screaming at Miss Ventura. He followed her into the hallway of the hotel while yelling at her. The complaint goes on to say he grabbed her and then took glass vases in the hallway and threw them at
So that part right there.
In the surveillance video, Combs can
So let me go past this. Okay, here it is when she grabs the phone. And no charges in LA, but feds will still use it. Shout out to Sterling Holt. Thank you for the super chat. Crypto Copious. I just ordered my Due Discussions cards yesterday. Thank you in advance. Thank you so much, Crypto Copious. I appreciate you. Hold on, let me go a little farther. I'm just trying to make sure I don't have no YouTube problems. So this is when she goes to the phone. So a lot of people didn't see this part right here.
Ventura is seen picking up a hotel phone. Combs seems to walk back to the hotel room, then returns and appears to shove her in a corner. Moments later, he can be seen throwing an object in her direction. According to Ventura's now settled lawsuit, the pair began dating several years after they met in 2005. They parted ways in 2019. Combs' attorney said the decision to settle was in no way an admission of wrongdoing. Ventura declined to comment on the video, but her attorney told CNN the gut-wrenching video has only further confirmed the disturbing and predatory behavior of Mr. Combs. Words cannot express the courage and fortitude that Miss Ventura has shown in coming forward to bring this to light. The video hasn't been seen publicly before and comes on the heels of a series of civil lawsuits alleging Combs' involvement in sex trafficking and sexual abuse. Allegations Combs has repeatedly denied. In a December 2023 statement, Combs responded to the claims in all the lawsuits saying, "Sickening allegations have been made against me by individuals looking for a quick payday. Let me be absolutely clear. I did not do any of the awful things being alleged."
This weirdo said she's not a victim. How is she not a victim? Weirdo. Mr. Weirdo, how is she not a victim? Imagine what the camera don't catch. Exactly, Bride of Israel. Yeah, you see this bullshit? Before I block this person, I just want to find out, did I misread that? Because she stayed. All right. You know what? Diddy's burner. What is Diddy's burner? Okay, so I'm going to give this weirdo grace because he may be 19 or something. Okay, he may be 19. So I'm just going to rehash what I said earlier. And do you think TD Jakes knew about this side of Puff? 1000%. TD Jakes is a piece of shit. I think he's in all this weirdo shit.
That dude give me the creeps just as much as P. Diddy does.
Yeah.
He got that same dark look.
So Bride of Israel, you said earlier somebody was in the chat saying something crazy. Was it this person? Not this person, but the weirdo. So I want to say this to the person because they may be 19 or something. And even though we just talked about it, but I think this is important. The reason why, because I actually tried to holler at this woman, right? And she gave me her phone number and we was talking, but she liked me, but she didn't like me. And I was just like, all right, I'm gonna let it go. And she said, hey, I just want to let you know, there's a reason why I'm not responding to you trying to holler at me. I like you, you cool, but the reason why is I'm just going to be real. I'm running from an abuser. My abusive, I forgot if it's ex-husband or ex or whatever. My abusive ex keeps finding me and attacking me, right? So she moved here from somewhere else, and it doesn't make sense for her to start dating somebody when she actively has somebody after her, right? And I was like, oh damn, what in the world? So we just actually became friends instead of dating, right? And we still cool. And at the end of the day, I empathized with her because I appreciated her because she did not put me in the middle of her mess. Because of course, as a man, if I start dating her and we in a relationship and then some dude comes out trying to find her, I'm gonna jump up and take up for her and possibly get locked up or shot or something, right? So
Right.
I appreciated her for not putting me in her mess. But that woman was actively running from a man that kept finding her because it's not hard to find people. We all can find where each other lives at in some type of way. All this Google shit, you can find out stuff, right? So it's not easy to leave a person. And this is saying to the weirdo that was in the chat that may not know. You said it's her, she's not a victim because she stayed. When you have somebody like P. Diddy, who is at that point the king of New York, you can't go anywhere because everybody knows P. Diddy and P. Diddy knows everybody. Who's going to hire you? Where you going to get a job at? She's in a music industry. Whether she's a producer, singer, writer, or whatever, somebody that knows P. Diddy, somebody that get paid from P. Diddy or whatever is going to know her. So it's not easy for somebody to stay. And then there's another thing involving abuse that I learned about a long time ago is abuse usually happens once every month or once every 2 months or once every 6 months, right? So you piss off the person and they pow, 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 or whatever they do, right? And then they turn around. Yeah, it's a cycle. And then they turn around. It's kind of like washing clothes, right? You don't wash your clothes all the time. You wash your clothes once every week or 2 weeks or whatever, depending on how much clothes you got, right? And it's like a cycle like that. It's abuse, and then the rest of the time it's lovey-dovey, I love you. So here's a cycle, just like a washing cycle. First time you get beat up, you're upset, right? And then you're like, oh my God, I can't believe this, right? And next thing you know, the guy gets more loving than he ever was because he feels bad about what he did. So you get flowers every day. You get somebody, he's serenading you. He's loving you. He's buying you all kinds of stuff. He's having the best sex with you. He's doing all these different things because he wants you to stay, right? And those things make you feel so loved. Well, you're like, wow, I wish I can get him to be like this all the time. So you actually start falling in love with what happens after he abuses the woman. And you're like, if I can get that one slice of him forever, I will be happy. You get what I'm saying? So next thing you know, you see this one slice of the pie and you're like, how can I get that all the time? So you fall in love with that. And then the abuse don't happen all the time. It happens next month. So y'all are loving and all this, y'all go on a trip, y'all go to Dubai and y'all are loving and taking all these pictures and stuff. And you're just like, man, this is beautiful. Hopefully, maybe he won't do it again. And then a month later, 2 months later, 3 months later, he does it again. And he turns around and tells you why. You was looking at this dude, or you won't do what I tell you. So you like, oh shit, it's my fault. I got this amazing man that's doing all these things, and damn, I messed up and looked at another dude, or I messed up and didn't call him back. Damn. All I got to do this time is not do that one thing, and it'll never happen to me again. And then now in your mind, it's your fault why he's because he tells you, if you didn't do this, I wouldn't have to do that. And now you're like, so if I can just not do this and not do that, my life would be perfect. But all of this is him manipulating you into accepting him doing it. Am I right or wrong, Cookie?
It absolutely is manipulation. Yep, that's exactly how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
And then it goes into the victim blaming, and then you questioning yourself.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
it's
Okay. Y'all,
an
I feel you.
insane art.
Mm-hmm. It's like a cycle. It's like a wash cycle. And
I
it's,
didn't hear you. What did you say?
I said it's like a wash cycle. It's like putting out a Drake album. Like before you put the Drake album out, you put the single out. See it get some buzz. If you don't get no buzz, you don't put an album out. You know, it's everything is a cycle. You know what I'm saying? Everything you manipulate the marketplace, you know. So it's everything is a cycle. So manipulation is manipulating the market or manipulating a woman. It's somewhat the same thing. You have to manipulate the market. Like you don't just drop an album unless you're Beyonce. You come out with a single first. Same thing with men and women. You do something first to see how they respond. And when they respond a certain kind of way, then you come out with the other thing. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I know. I
Yeah,
get it.
it's manipulation of the market. And sometimes the market is a woman. So yeah.
Yeah.
Does that make sense to y'all? Put a 1 in the chat if that makes sense. Because to the person that was saying something stupid, maybe they didn't know that. So I'm not going to block the person because maybe they didn't know what I just said. You know, because like I said, our male brain is going to easily go to, oh, she's dumb, she's stupid. Oh, she should have left. She should have did this. She should have picked better. But if a man abused like that situation with P. Diddy, what if that happened once a year? Cookie, a man treats you like a man. He marries you and does all this stuff. And a man that takes you on helicopter rides, whatever it is that you ever wanted in life, he takes you to outer space and shit, right? And that situation in the hotel happens once a year. Uh-oh, I lost her. Some of you ladies would be okay with that. So that's why women stay. Sprinkled with yeah. Hold on, here you go. So Cookie, once a year, what do you think? You there? Okay.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm sorry, my bad. I didn't hear the statement or the question. It's windy here and the internet's going in and out. What was the question?
I said if
You said once a year.
you get beat up in the head, not even in your face, you get beat up in the head by a man, but he's the best man you ever had. He married you. He's a great father, all this other stuff, right? But you get beat up in the head once a year. But Rich, everything you ever wanted as a human being, he gives you. Y'all can go to outer space and shit, just whatever it is you want. And you can get it whenever you want. And he's loving consistently. But once a year, he beats you upside the head, in your head. Would you stay?
Well, I had a father, so no, but
Okay.
the typical woman probably would.
That's what I'm saying. So to the men who don't understand why women don't leave, is because of that. It doesn't happen every day. It happens every now and then they blame you like it's because of you. And then you get to the point where you start thinking like, okay, if I stop doing this, if I stop doing that, he won't never do it again. And then when he does it again, he adds something like, don't do this and I won't do it again. You're like, okay, so I don't do this. So now it's like, if I don't do these 3 things, he'll never do it again. And he turns around and does it again. And you're like, oh, fuck. And you think it's your fault.
You keep adding to the list of don't do this and he'll act right.
Yeah.
And before you know it, his hands around your neck. Yeah.
And it's the type of abuse, hands around the neck versus head trauma or versus a slap. You might be like, well, he just slapped me. I've heard women who just say, well, he ain't as bad as this because all he did is slap me. All he did is choke me. All he did, and he's like, oh, well, you crazy. But in her mind, you're like, yo, my homegirl, she got thrown down the steps. You know what I'm saying? Like, he never thrown me down the steps. So then you're like, okay, my situation really ain't that bad. And then a woman to turn around and say, well, what if the next person I get with is worse? Then you start talking yourself out of being in a relationship because you think the next man is going to be worse. What if your ex-boyfriend was worse than your present boyfriend, but they both was abusive? But you're like, well, shit, at least he wasn't as bad as my ex. And all of these different things hit you, and it causes you to be afraid to leave. So it is what it is. Me, how a man posed to treat me. So it just is what it is. So what I'm saying is, it's a lot of variables to this, y'all, and it's not just cut and dry. Why don't you just leave? It's sometimes your mama don't want you to leave. A lot of Tyler Perry movies. Which Tyler Perry movie which Tyler Perry movie was like that, y'all? Where the mother was like, why don't you just do right and he won't hit you no more? Do y'all remember that? Was it I Can Do Bad by Myself? That Tyler Perry movie? Because I don't look at Tyler Perry movies, but I remember one of those movies was like that. Was where the mother was like, why don't you just stop doing what he did? Why don't you just stop acting bad? And then he'll stop doing this. Leaving also places you in an increased risk of death. Yes, this part right here. If you leave, because guess what else he turns around and says? If you leave me again, I'll kill you.
Yeah, that's what happened to my coworker.
Yeah.
She had left and he tracked her down and didn't.
See?
Yeah.
So it's like, you're afraid of, then if you got kids, you're afraid of so many different things. So your fears just end up sitting on top of each other. So, but how did P. Diddy get here? How did P. Diddy end up being like this? Hold on. So we're going to get into some P. Diddy stuff, but real quick commercial break.
How about we meet up at a coffee shop and play this fun dating card game? We'll have fun and see if we're compatible all at the same time.
Ooh, what's the name of the game?
It's called Deeper Discussions.
I'm down.
Okay, meet you at 6.
Fellas, buy this card game. Ladies, buy this card game. Buy about 2 or 3 card games. The main reason why people can't stay together isn't because they don't like each other no more. It's actually because their present family issues come up or their past family issues come up. But when you play Deeper Discussions, you'll be able to understand a person's family issues up front.
This game can be played with either 2 people or an entire group. So have fun.
So let's get into this.
It is time for a Diddy deep dive. Yes, a deep dive. Now, a lot of people have been talking about what's going on.
Multiple allegations in several civil suits against Diddy, including human trafficking, all of which he...
Again, these cards...
Twitter. I got Twitter in here also. Everybody hit some things that nobody... Everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. Wants to talk about. the reason why P. Diddy is the way he is, not just what happened. So let's start with catching everybody up on what happened last night. And then we're going to get back to P. Diddy's mom. Everybody hit the like button. Drop your city in the chat. Drop your city in the chat so I can shout your city out.
By the feds as we speak. Diddy's in the crosshairs of law enforcement on both coasts of America. Head in local
Story. And I love to talk about what happened to the person that is this crazy when they were a kid. Nobody wants to talk about that. That's what we're talking about today. So yes, his dad was a bootleg Frank Lucas, and Frank Lucas, of course, was the king of New York. So literally, Frank's dad. I mean, I'm not Frank's dad. P. Diddy's dad was the king of New York. Shout out to Spain. We got Spain up in here. What is Tart Cookie? What is this? Is this a city? What is that? You know what that is? Cookie.
Arcturian?
Arcturian? Is that
Can
a
you
city?
hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. You said
It might be
Arcturian?
that's how I would
Okay.
say it.
Okay, I was just wondering because I couldn't pronounce that shit. Which made P. Diddy the king of New York by default. But we're gonna talk about all that. Just catching everybody up. Everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit like. They said it's a race. Oh wow! Shout out to Nottingham. It's a race.
Really?
I want to be Nocturian. It sounds like like you stay up all night race.
Oh
Like
my God. On a lighter
Octurian.
note, before you go into this, because I know where this is going. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
So on a
No,
lighter note,
Octurian sounds like you can breathe underwater. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
right. It sounds like an aqua or something. Like,
Yeah.
no, I said on a lighter note, I know where this is going. Do you remember when you said you thought you would smash P. Diddy's mom?
Yeah.
Took it back in like a minute and a half.
Yeah. Then I was like, nah, look at her arms. I was like, nah. Yeah.
I had to lighten the mood a little.
But if P. Diddy wouldn't want me to smash his mom, I would smash his mom just to make him mad. Because I don't like him.
Just because he P. Diddy.
Yeah. But what if it's good? And then if I try to leave her, she tried to have me murked. Hit the like button.
the lead agency. As you probably have already heard, there have been multiple allegations in trafficking all.
P. Diddy's house this themselves and get locked up. And another thing, for those who don't know, his kids were complicit with. Let me.
Point investigation.
Where is that? No, a little. Don't stop hitting the like button. The like stop going up. Keep his stuff and property seized. So his mama is the main person that is behind all of this, and everything is in his mama's name.
And everybody else you may sign.
Marita says, did Diddy take Cassie from Ryan Leslie? The answer is yes. He smooth took her. Yes. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Marita, did you buy my Deeper Discussions card game? That's a better question. Marita, did you buy my Deeper Discussions card game? If not, the link is under this video. The link is hovering right around here. And buy my Deeper Discussions card game. So Marita, did you buy my Deeper Discussions card game? And if not, why not?
Paperwork so they can't talk about what I'm talking about.
Every day, it seems like there's a fresh batch of disturbing accusations surfacing against Diddy. And at this point, people are wondering, how did Diddy end up in such a mess? Like, was he just wired this way? Or did something happen to him that turned him into this real-life boogeyman of hip-hop? Well, many are pointing fingers at Diddy's mother, Janice, suggesting that she might have played a role in enabling Diddy's alleged crimes. There's even talk swirling around that Janice was so fixated on Diddy becoming a mogul that she turned a blind eye when things got rough, even when he laid hands on her. But let's rewind a bit for some context. Diddy was born on November 4th, 1969 in Harlem, New York to Janice and Melvin Combs. Janice shortly worked as a model before becoming a teacher's assistant, or at least.
All right, so you hear this, right? This is where it gets crazy. Watch what this woman says. She started working as a model, and you're able to see how little P. Diddy was. Let's back up. Look how little P. Diddy was. P. Diddy was a child when all this was going
Fixated on Diddy becoming a mogul that she turned a blind eye when things got rough, even when he laid hands on her. But let's rewind a bit for some
So I want to show y'all how little P. Diddy was.
context. Diddy was born
You see that, right?
on November 4th, 1969 in Harlem, New York to Janice and Melvin Combs. Janice shortly worked as a model before becoming a teacher's.
All right, you see that right there, right? You see how little P. Diddy was. A lot of this crazy stuff was going on when P. Diddy was a child. So I'm telling y'all now, all of this came out because way before P. Diddy became P. Diddy. P. Diddy was a nobody. He was a freaking child. And that's the reason why we talking today. This ain't just about P. Diddy doing this, P. Diddy doing that. No, we got to talk about the origin story behind this man, his mama. So let's go. Hit the like button, y'all. Hit the like button. Facebook, y'all stop hitting the like button, y'all. Come on. Everybody hit the like button. Keep hitting the like button. Keep hitting the like button. Facebook, YouTube, hit the like button. Share this video. We talking about childhood trauma.
Assistant, or at least that's what Diddy's Wikipedia page claims. Meanwhile, Diddy's dad Melvin served in the U.S. Air Force and allegedly had ties to the notorious
who?
Drug lord Frank Lucas.
Frank Lucas. The notorious Frank Lucas. His father, so all queen, his wife. So that means his wife is cool with the feds. His wife is cool with every we're talking about his P. Diddy's daddy's wife at this particular point. The reason why Diddy has never went to jail, has not went to jail thus far, is because his daddy's wife, which is Diddy's mama, is in cahoots with the feds because Diddy's daddy worked with the feds, tactical agency in New York. So now when her son is growing up, her son is untouchable even before he became an adult.
Now let's talk about Janice. She reportedly showered her son with all the love and affection in the world. And although
What you say?
You know, it's crazy how a lot of these people are pushing this no snitching message to the children, and yet they literally the definition of informants. Like, that's crazy to me.
Well,
they put it in their music.
Well, it's a part of the game. It's just like how see, no snitching is programmed into our culture. So it's a culture thing, right? But individuals, okay, it's kind of like breaking the law. We have no stealing, no cheating, no speeding, but we all do the shit. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like that. You know, we got no speeding, but we still speed. You know, so it's to be honest with you, it's just like that. It's just another thing. So no snitching don't mean we not going to snitch. We just going to be embarrassed if we get caught snitching. But we snitching, we cheating, we speeding, we doing all kinds of shit.
That's hilarious. He said you will get embarrassed.
It is what it is.
Do you know what the original definition of a snitch is? It's a thief. Isn't that crazy?
What are they stealing? A thief?
Yeah, it just says a thief. And then all of a sudden, 100 years later, it's the person telling on a thief is the snitch. I thought that was funny too. Just a history lesson.
Interesting.
I digress.
Huh, okay.
Diddy has a sister, Keisha. Janice's focus was on Diddy. In fact, some say she was downright obsessed with him.
You see that, right? She was obsessed with him. And what happened to Keisha? She ignored her own daughter.
Keisha
fell off to the wayside.
Diddy also never shied away from flaunting his tight bond with his mom, always giving her shout outs and thanking her for everything she taught him.
Ma, I love you. This is your day.
But with all the nasty allegations swirling around Diddy, fans are starting to question what kind of life lessons he picked up from his mom. Well, here's where things get wild. As mentioned earlier, Diddy's wiki page claims that Janice used to work as a model back in the day. But see, there's not a shred of evidence out there proving her modeling gigs. Instead, the grapevine's buzzing that Janice was allegedly organizing fashion shows as a front while behind the scenes.
Here we go. Behind the scenes, right? She come together and she would pimp the women out. And now the women are now getting paid to sleep with the big wigs of New York. His mother did that before he was an adult. And the reason why that's important is because I'm showing y'all the character of his mother. His mother was a pimp.
Family business.
Yeah, so this whole thing was a family business. So if his mother was a pimp, you don't think he seen or witnessed his mother slap women around?
Absolutely, he did.
That's what I'm saying. So he was trained to be this abusive person.
Told my he wanted receipts. Work.
Rights, she claimed that one of the stipulations in the NDA was to never disparage Diddy, Bad Boy, Janice Combs, Justin Combs' music, EMI, or Sony ever in public. And now, on top of all this, rumors recently popped up that Janice couldn't stand Diddy's late girlfriend, Kim Porter. And back in the day, she was allegedly putting ideas into Diddy's head about Kim cheating on him.
So you hear that, right? Diddy has always had this little evil devil in his ear. His mama. You know, Kim Porter might be cheating on you. Do y'all know one of his sons isn't his son, the light-skinned one? Which son is the light-skinned one that is by another dude? Yeah, we found out that the light-skinned one is by Albie Shore. Which, yeah, the real
Albie Shore, my cousin.
So I'm showing y'all. Oh, yeah. Wait, so that means you kin to Diddy?
Yep.
Wow.
Absolutely not. We're not claiming that online. That's not by blood.
Diabolical side of all of this, and why P. Diddy has never gotten it. I'm going to be quiet. It's so crazy.
There are very few photos of Janice and Kim together, despite the fact that Kim is the mother of Diddy's children, and she was in his life for roughly 13 years. And even in those few photos where they attend the same event, Kim and Janice are always sitting far apart and seemingly not interacting with each other. But there's another piece of the puzzle that's got everyone talking. So there's this.
So let me stop for a second. Albie Shore. Yep, Albie Shore. So no, Albie Shore is not his dad. It wasn't Albie Shore. Albie Shore is not his dad. It is Albie Shore. I didn't know what I was talking about right there. I want to just give y'all a second. Well, I want to say something for a second. Everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. I don't know what I'm about to say. There are plenty of people that are out here with us that have significant childhood trauma, that have been raised somewhat like P. Diddy, but they're not crazy like P. Diddy. Like, as an example, who am I about to talk about now? I know. Who was raised just like P. Diddy? Whose mom was hoeing women out or pimping women that we know of? Anybody want to guess?
I know.
Anybody want to guess? Who?
Lil Scrappy.
Yep. Name a person in Atlanta, Scrappy. But he's out here. Oh, had this was. They say, I don't care about no card game. I don't want to do this. No, this helps uncover a person's pathology, men and women. So if you have not bought this card game, but you've seen me market it before, understand it is bigger than a dating card game. The questions in this card game will help you understand a person's childhood trauma, understand a person's pathology, to find out, was the man that you're dating a mama's boy? Is the woman you're dating dealing with an abusive, neglectful mother? If the person had a neglectful mother, an abusive mother, a terrible mother, their mother was a pimp, their mother was a whore, their mother was this, you will know if you bought a card game. Their mother was that. Guess what? This card game will help you uncover it. Too many of you are baby daddies and baby mamas with traumatized people, and the second the baby came, either the man went crazy or the woman went crazy. Am I right or wrong? Put a 1 in the chat if you dealt with, witnessed, or heard about a man or a woman act a fool the second the baby came. Put a 1 in the chat if you know about this. Questions. You go around and see people's lives. Touch.
Diddy starts talking about how he and his mom go to strip clubs together. He mentions that Janice can touch the floor with her palms.
That shit was disgusting. She can touch the floor with her palms. How do you know that your mother can touch the floor with her palms? Oh, that part was disgusting. Somebody said, "Can I read the card questions online?" Yeah, I can do that. But you got any thoughts before? Because I think I'm in that video. I'm looking for the Scrappy video now because I want y'all to see how it's not just P. Diddy that's like this. It's normal everyday men out here. You there, Cookie? I think I lost her again. All right, where is it? So yes, I got the card game questions right here, and I'll ask a couple of questions in a minute. Yes, the Oedipus complex. Yes, he's going to strip. Don't you need to know this stuff? Play the card game with a man and or a woman or just different friends or whatever. You'll find out if his mom touches the floor with her palms. You need to know this stuff about the people that y'all dating. And of course, that particular question ain't in there, but it's a technical question that'll help you deduce if the man or the woman has a crazy, weird mom. So let me give y'all a question that will help you understand if the man you're dating is a P. Diddy. Check this out. A simple question. Simple question. Who comes first, your mother or your mate? So if you're a woman, everybody hit the like button, everybody hit the like button, everybody hit the like button. If you're a woman and you're dating a guy, you ask this question, who comes first, your mother or your mate? And if he says his mom, it's time to go. Who comes first, your mother or your mate? If the man says his mom, it is over. It is over. And that's an example right there. It is over. Your mate comes first. Even if your boyfriend, your mama don't come before nothing. She's your mama. You leave your mama and go live your life. The next one is, what aspect of being married or getting married scares you? You know, you dating a woman, you dating a man. That's a good question to ask. So those are two particular questions. And another question from my card game is, what is one thing that you wanted but didn't receive when you were young? Those are questions that you can ask somebody to find out if the man is a mother's boy, if the woman is crazy, if the person is a loser, if the person has mommy issues. Going back to the video.
Mom. Everything's good, baby. I'm here with you. Yeah. I love you. Love you too. She don't stop. She don't.
Now, the kiss and the strip club talk are weird enough, but fans also noticed that Janice had white nails
White
in the
fingernails.
video. And if you remember,
White fingernails. Y'all remember about the white fingernails? White fingernails. His own mama taught him this. See, the thing about it is, regardless of if we're screwed up or if we're normal, to a certain degree, we actually look to reenact the dynamic, the family dynamic, the relationship dynamic that we had when we were children, whether it was screwed up or whether it was healthy. You have a healthy father, you ladies are going to look for a healthy man that reminds you of your father. But if you had a screwed up dynamic and your dad abandoned you, guess what? you're going to try to reenact that dynamic and get with men that don't want you. You're going to be chasing after men left and right that don't want you. Why? Because your dad seemed like he didn't want you. It's these dynamics that we got to find out and uncover, that the other person that we're dating is trying to reenact and relive. Whoever you're dating, that person sees you as some type of dynamic that they grew up seeing. Or so if you had an abusive mother and abusive father, you can actually get in a relationship with another abusive person so you can reenact your childhood all over again. I'll say it again. What we tend to do is find people that will help us relive our childhood as adults. And if you or somebody else was in an abusive relationship, I mean, you know, like your mom or somebody around you, your uncle, you seen that and it became normal, and you'll actually end up being in an abusive relationship as an adult. Unbeknownst to you, you don't know why you crave this, and all your friends are calling you stupid, but for whatever reason, you keep doing it because you subconsciously look to reenact your childhood as an adult. That they're trying to reenact. I had, or a lot of these women. Uh-oh, what happened? Why the hell did it? Well, forget it. Hey, Dana. Dana, you there? Hold on. Okay, something. Okay, you there?
I'm there.
Dana.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes, I'm
Hey.
here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Um, Hi, Aaron. But I just wanted to say,
Hey.
it's interesting you're saying all this about what Diddy's been through, and it makes me think about his sons and what they're gonna look like in the future. But I also feel like some of this came
Yeah.
about because the son released that diss record, and he was saying, I don't know if you noticed on there, he was saying to the feds, "You're stupid. That wasn't even our real house. The real house was next door. Y'all didn't even know what you was looking for." And then this video comes out.
What's up, Angie? That can't be it, because that means they are petty as I don't know what. I can't believe that. That is interesting. But you actually think it came from a song? That's a thought, though.
I think all of this died down, and then the sun comes out of nowhere with this song, just to even speak on this case. The feds are like, "Oh, we're gonna give you a pow pow. Like, let us show you that we ain't as dumb as you think, and we just not showing all our cards."
I'm gonna look into that, because that could be an aspect of this, because he comes out with a song one day and then 2-3 days later, this comes out after 6 years or after 8 years.
And this didn't even come out before the raid. Remember, they all said they had footage and evidence of the abuse, but nothing came out. They just did the raid.
In my opinion, I don't know. In my opinion, they did the raid and then they had to go through months and months of footage. And it's possibility that they just found this after looking at all the cameras. I mean, looking at all the footage. I don't know.
Well, this is one of the things that came up when they first talked about the abuse, and she mentioned he was paying hotels to get rid of footage. That was something that came up.
Oh, really?
So
he was paying hotels to get rid of footage.
Yep.
I didn't know about that part. Oh, shit. So that means somebody that worked at the hotel did not get rid of the footage on purpose. Oh, shit. Because if you just think about it, just in this footage right here, right? Let me play it.
Audio. According to the complaint, Combs became music mode.
So if you just look at this, Diddy easily seems very comfortable running down the hallway with no clothes on and beating up a woman.
Yeah, because imagine you could rent out the whole floor and you know you can pull the cameras.
Right. So those are two variables right there. He can pay for somebody to ignore this or pay for the footage, and there's nobody else on his floor that will actually witness it. Damn. I didn't think about that part right there. Not the rap thing, but the fact that he rents out the whole floor and pays them for the camera footage. He probably does this all the goddamn time.
Mm-hmm. And
Because
then
who the hell gonna run down the hallway naked and then beat on somebody at the elevator? Go ahead.
And the only reason why I brought up the Sun song is because he's kind of implying like you don't know what pull we have, you don't know who we deal with, you don't know what we really doing. And I think it was a way of saying like, no, we got you, we let you live, but okay.
You may have a point. You may have a point. You may have a point. I'm just like, can they be that petty?
Because the pow pow got Diddy to be quiet, but now his kid is running the mouth. So it's like, oh, okay. Got it.
I hope because I may go live later on because I'm sure more and more and more stuff is coming out. Because like I said, I want to push the narrative of get P. Diddy locked up. And I think the community outcry is part of the responsibility of us to put pressure on DAs and whoever else, even politicians, to put this man behind bars.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's our responsibility just as a community to let whoever's listening to know, get this nigga out of here.
What's the most interesting thing that I've seen come from this is an influencer posted this video and said, the bear is looking more and more attractive.
See? Because I picked the bear. I told you, these men are trash. Like, if I was a woman, I would be with a bear and not a damn man. Like, what the fuck? I'm sorry. I know I'm a man. I'm supposed to be team. No. These I've been said these. I always said 40% of black men be beating on women.
Really? That high of a number?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think 40% of black men be beating on women.
Y'all
And I
forgive
think
me. We struggling down here in the South, so that's what's on and off.
Oh, it's okay.
And I think if you address mutual combat, that's 85% of black people.
Yes, women too. So yeah, so I would say 30% of black women be beating on men. So yeah. So Dion, what is your thoughts? You there?
My thoughts is Diddy need to be locked up. And back to what Sister Girl was saying earlier about the slavery part. I agree with you, Mr. Let Go.
Oh, okay.
But I also kind of agree with her because in that industry, if a young P. Diddy is going up to a Clyde Davis and saying, I need a record deal, and he's telling him he have to participate in some evil activity, that is kind of like him selling out for the white man. So that is kind of a slavery tactic.
There we go again. It's not a slavery tactic unless somebody is hurt and they can't leave. I don't know why we bringing this back up, but
I say that because I heard a story about Clyde Davis having another artist before P. Diddy.
It's not slavery if he went to Clive Davis. Do you think Clive Davis pulling up on people, taking them out their house, or do people come to the white man and say, "Hey, I want some money"? How's that slavery?
Okay.
I just don't.
I don't got time to really break it down like that, but I would just like to say that I agree with y'all. He should be locked up It been about time for him to be locked up. He been beating on too many women. You know, looking at his bodyguard, say how he used to do his mom, his own mama.
Just be careful of your wording. That's all.
Yeah. Looking at his bodyguard, say how he used to touch his own mama. You know, like, you know, he need to be locked up. You know, he needs some help or something like that. And people
Yeah.
that admire him, they need to think secondly. You know what I'm saying? Like, why do we admire people that do wrong? A lot of people admire Martin Luther King and all these other cats, T.D. Jakes and stuff, but kind of find out they were doing the same thing. You know, we don't need to put admiration into man. We need to put admiration into God, number one. So then we'll know how to treat people better.
But we as humans need a leader. We're humans. That's just
Right.
like
But God should be our leader for real. Like we should be looking for.
no. We look for a human to lead us.
Yeah,
Like,
true.
what are you
And
talking about? Like, we need a
Well,
human to
well,
lead us.
me
Yeah,
and you, we need
worship
to,
and leadership are different.
right. Yeah, you're right. We need to look for the right leaders, but we need to overlook people's talent and their gift. Because just because a person got money, talented, or gifted, if they're not having the right character or integrity or standing on principle, like we see now what's going on. You know, like I said, P. Diddy,
But
the
we
Martin
don't.
Luther King,
But
and
we
then
don't
everybody
know.
else.
None of us knew this. I knew about the deaths, and I was like, "Why is there?" You know, it was weird. Why is all these people dying around P. Diddy? You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I didn't know P. Diddy was doing all this stuff.
Yeah, I didn't know a lot of preachers were doing a lot of stuff too, but you know, like I said, we got to try to have everybody need to have a type of discernment spirit. You know, like even when you're dating somebody, you need to ask questions. Like you said, we need to have a discernment spirit. Whether you know it's someone in our family or somebody we working with, when people have a discernment spirit, then they will be able to, you know, detect different things. Just because a person got status, power, money, or whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We'll be able to, you know, or it might be a good gentleman at first. When you ask the right question, that's why I salute Mr. Let Go for what he got going on with his car collection, because at least he's trying to, you know, bring awareness, you know, and when you have awareness, you have discernment, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. I
I'm
just
not
want
gonna
to
lie to
find.
y'all. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. What'd you say?
I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Have y'all ever just looked P. Diddy in his eyes? Like,
I'm not looking at a man in his eyes.
I
That's scary.
know, I'm talking about the women.
Hey, look, I
Women
gotta go.
have a certain
Y'all be blessed though.
discernment.
Peace.
When you
I
look,
Cheers.
when you see him, he looks dark. He looks evil. He almost looked like he is blank back there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He always gave me the creeps. I'm not even gonna sit here and lie. I never liked P. Diddy. Like ever. He gave me the creeps, and I ain't been wrong yet. I was right. I said the same thing about somebody else. I ain't gonna bring him up, but I said the same, and I was right about that person too. Y'all
But
just
yeah,
gotta
you
sometimes
can't. You
intuition.
we don't look at men their eyes and stuff because they don't do anything to us. You know, we look at a man's body language, but we're not looking at deep into a man's
Of
eyes
course
because
not. I
we're
was
not
speaking more
dating the
to the
man.
women. I wouldn't
Yeah,
expect
yeah.
you to
I'm
be
just saying.
gazing at P Diddy.
Yeah, I can't be gazing at no dude like, oh my God, his eyes. You know,
Cause
I
he like
can't.
when you look in Mr. Let Go's eyes, Dana can back me up. You look kind.
Oh well,
Even though
thank
you
you.
be on her talking all rough, you can look in your eyes and look and tell that you have a spirit, like a kind spirit. When you
Yeah.
look in Diddy's eyes, it's almost like they black. He looks evil to me. I'm sorry. Like I hate to say it.
Well, my mom instilled kindness in me. Like my mom, like taught me to be kind. You know, she taught me all those things. And P. Diddy's mom taught him how to hurt women because she was hurting women. You know, like we learned
She
from
look
our
evil
moms.
too.
Who is she?
P
Oh,
Diddy
his mom?
mom, yeah, she look more
I agree with you on that.
possessive.
Yeah, she just looks like the queen of evil type.
A
You know what I'm
villain
saying?
in a Disney cartoon.
Yeah, she literally looks like a female villain in a Disney cartoon. Totally agree. Always smiling, but she'll murk you. So yeah, I agree. Where the hell is my video of I can't find my God damn it. I hope I didn't erase it. The video I had of what's the name of his mama?
Oh, Scrappy. That was a
Yeah,
while ago.
yeah, I had it. I may have erased it by mistake or something. I don't know. I don't know. But at the end of the day, I want everybody to share this video and share everybody else's video talking about this also. And because we gotta, as a community, we have to end this shit. We have to find a way to end this ourselves. We can't wait on white people to do all this stuff. We got to do it ourselves, you know,
Facts.
because the thing about it is just like with Drake, right? It was still people that was on a Drake bandwagon until they seen more and more and more and more and more people making fun of Drake. Now Drake is in a toilet, right? His shoes came out and nobody bought his shoes because everybody kept sharing videos of Drake being trash, right? So all of us have to share videos of P. Diddy being trash because it spreads
Well,
like wildfire. Go ahead.
it has to be before 2000 and it has to be after 2018 though, because there is a statute of limitation on domestic violence on top of the fact of the civil lawsuit where she took the settlement. So there's going to be some like asterisks there, but I don't know if he will go to jail for this. That's the hard part.
It's gonna make them look deeper into his character. He won't go to jail for that, but they're gonna start digging a lot deeper now.
Trafficking stuff probably, because I agree with
Right,
you. If this was,
because
go
hasn't
ahead.
she been with her wife? I mean, her new husband for 6 years. I
Mhm.
think so.
Yeah.
I think a lot of this stuff. That's why she did the civil suit because it was outside of statute of limitation until New York brought in that new law that affected NDAs and different things like that. So I
No, she
think
left
this.
Diddy in what, 2019?
No, she's been left Diddy before then because she has three. She has two kids with the new husband.
Okay.
But the question is, well, I got another question. Because of the civil suit that can turn into, well, Diddy hasn't turned into a lawsuit either yet, but
No, because he took his name off of everything. He don't got his name on nothing. Remember, that's why he hid
yeah.
away for that time to take his name off of everything.
Do y'all think the civil suit that is somewhat not the same, but somewhat the same with academics, do you think civil suits turn into criminal suits and it's actually a systematic thing?
They can't. That's a part of the civil suit. Like you're saying, there's not enough evidence for a criminal suit, but enough to be considered
Liable.
guilty,
Oh,
liable.
really?
Right. Yeah. Yes.
So it can't turn into a criminal suit?
Mm-mm.
No,
And
but
they can't
it
use
could be
anything
vice
in the
versa.
civil suit for a criminal case. So.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Okay. Okay. Okay.
A lot of times when people can't get a guilty, they'll get a civil suit because they can show enough evidence to show the person's liable for some type of harm.
I thought a criminal suit is harder to prove because it has to be proved beyond reasonable doubt. A civil suit does not have to be proved beyond a reasonable doubt. You can turn
No.
around and win and still owe some money.
Yeah, and a lot of times people see you have a certain amount of evidence and they'll settle because they just don't know where it's going to go.
Right. But with a criminal
Yeah.
suit, you can't settle.
No.
Unless you agree to some type of criminal
Plea deal. Yeah.
plea deal. But so that's settling, but you still are guilty. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's why I said I don't think I don't know if he'll go to jail for this or there'll be a criminal suit, especially with the civil suit. Like they can show the evidence, but they probably got to in the civil suit, you still have to show your hand. That's the hard part too.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, I was thinking this can turn into something more criminal because of the civil suit. But if there's some type of rule where you can't use both of them, I understand. But damn, man. Oh, here it is. I found it. Damn, it took me so long to find that shit.
Can't go to her. She hard. I can't.
And the reason why I'm showing y'all this, y'all, is because I want y'all to understand that P. Diddy's mom is the same type of mom as Scrappy's mom, but Scrappy happily didn't turn into this weirdo person like P. Diddy did. So I want y'all to look at this, and I want y'all to think about the pain or the numbness that P. Diddy has. So a traumatic childhood. See, women treat motherhood like it's roller skating or some shit. It's some cute shit. It's not. It's very important. And when you ladies are single mothers, your child sees everything. And when you just, I want you to look at Scrappy's mom, how the look in her face, she doesn't give a fuck. I'm gonna back it up a little bit. Look at her face, how she talking. She don't even care.
On my dope.
Yeah.
You never.
Look how she looking. She like, yep. Because mothers don't care. She's like, oh, I'm a good mother. And he's trying to explain to her that she's not a good mother. And she's like, whoa, whatever.
Mama 24/7 because you
looking down. And this is how you women actually feel. You like, I'm a good mother. I don't care. Look at her eyes. She is not even looking at him. Do y'all see this shit? So when I talk about motherhood, this is the shit I talk about. It is lack of empathy. Exactly. She doesn't give a fuck. Why? Because in her mind, you're still alive. So why are you so mad? She ain't even looking at this man.
You never.
Look, now she looking down. She trying to talk. Instead of listening, she trying to talk.
Child point of view. You never had.
This man is, look how deep, look how sad he is. That's empathy right there. Do you see the difference? Do you see her eyes? That is empathy.
Everything that happened, I had.
You see that? That's empathy.
Also,
see,
too,
Dana? Go ahead.
That's
She's
it.
Like, yeah, like
that's
so?
it. So I had a friend who shared her story about sexual abuse, and when she told her mother, she was like, and she came back to me crying, and I said, I bet you your mother was sexual assaulted multiple times.
Be careful of the
Oh,
word.
sorry.
It's okay.
I bet your mother dealt with that multiple times, and you complaining about it once. She's like, once.
Yeah.
You're lucky.
Yeah. So when you see P. Diddy running around beating up women, he watched his mom run around beating up women because she was a pimp. But go ahead.
And probably watched his dad beat up his mother, who was a pimp.
I agree.
And watched the music industry and the pimp industry and the drug industry use power, strength, and aggression to get control.
Yep. And that became the norm. So he sees Cassie leaving. He's like, oh, I know what to do that's going to make her stay. What my mama did to make the whole stay. And in his mind, he ain't doing nothing wrong.
Yeah. This is how you keep people in line.
And to a certain degree, it's a possibility that because of how he was raised, he doesn't even think he's doing anything wrong. Because the difference
absolutely not.
Because one of the big differences between P. Diddy and Scrappy is what?
Power.
Power.
Yeah.
Scrappy ain't got no power. Whatever Scrappy has done, has learned, didn't work.
No, and I think when Diddy started to kind of get up on the other side of, the people's business, we don't know because they got a certain amount of money and power. Once you get in that club and you see the level of force they're using to keep control, you're like, oh, I'm light work. I gotta step I ain't even doing nothing.
These other people, oh man, I ain't even doing none of that shit.
It's almost, think about how we talk about building pain tolerance for women. Like they build tolerance for pain. He's building tolerance for aggression and keeping people in line because of the environments he's in. So then when he gets amongst the people who are really like holding women hostage or tying them up or, like, he's like, oh, I could kind of, okay, I got a little wiggle room here. Yeah.
You think I'm bad? You got to think about what John is doing over there.
Right. Because imagine you were just seeing like gorilla pimping and now you're seeing sex trafficking. You're like, oh,
Right.
okay,
Be
got
careful
it.
of the words. Be careful of the words. Be
Oh,
careful of the
sorry.
words. It's okay. But yeah, that's the thing that's so hurtful, because a lot of these men don't even think they doing anything wrong. They like, what are y'all talking about? I didn't do this. That's bad. I ain't doing nothing bad. What's up, Jocelyn?
Hey, Aaron, can you hear me?
Uh-huh.
I just wanted to come up here because this is the type of like crap that goes on in a daily life. So, like everybody goes through, through this, and it's like
Wait,
the
go through what?
insensitive.
Go through
Huh?
what? Go through what in particular?
The abuse, like goes through
Oh, okay.
abusive situations, but
Okay.
usually it depends, like what type of abusive situation you're in, because
Mhm.
yeah, there are situations that you can't walk away from, but there are situations that you can't walk away from.
Mhm.
And it's like, is it insensitive comments that put that fire under me when I had said, oh, I'm gonna join, once I get home. It's not, because it's 2024. Stop with the insensitive comments. That's so insensitive. You know what I'm saying? In some, again, in some situations, there's people that are not victims, but in some situations, there are people that are victims. Get what I mean?
Well,
Like people that can't leave situations like that.
Well, just keep this in mind. They're insensitive people, and you can't tell an
Right.
insensitive person to not be insensitive. It's
Right.
how they grew up. Because just like what we're talking about with me and Dana, they grew up so different where they just like, what are you talking about? That's not abuse. This is abuse.
Mhm.
So they just like, stop whining. So they don't know. And I'm not saying they're stupid or either on the other side, too innocent to realize what's going on. They grew up insensitive. So they are insensitive. So when you're like, oh my God, that's so messed up. Why would you say that? They're like, bitch, shut up. Because they don't know no better.
Right.
So
Yeah.
we can't tell other people what to do or what to say, because they have the right to be insensitive.
Right.
As long as they're not being disrespectful, they like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about is not abusive or terrible, but it is insensitive. And just in this world, we have to understand that everybody has their own life. So we can't get mad at another person for having a different perspective as us. Being disrespectful, that's a different story. They're like, shut up, bitch. Now that's disrespect.
Right. Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. I just feel like a lot of people that don't go through abuse have so much to say on it, but I mean,
But
yeah,
it's
you're
because
right.
I didn't go through abuse.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm a little like, Dana, how many times, because I have a coaching group and Dana is like one of the leaders of my coaching group. How many times have you like just said, Aaron, like you don't understand, it's a real thing?
I say that all the time because Aaron has the privilege of having a secured attachment style and not having certain things put on him in his childhood. So he just doesn't get it sometimes. So sometimes I do be like, Aaron, no, you're not understanding. You're not understanding. And just to add, Yoselin, I kind of think the opposite is happening. I think because people are so involved in combative relationships on a day-to-day, they're dismissive to abuse. So they're like, we do this every day in the house. How's that abuse? It's still abuse, even if you're doing it every day in the house. But because they're engaging in it, they don't see it as abuse, because then they would have to identify as somebody in an abusive situation.
Right. So it's like
Right.
an identity thing where if you have a different interpretation of an abuser, and if you see P. Diddy doing what he did in that video, you might say he's not an abuser, because an abuser in my mind is this person over here that did drop somebody off a cliff or some shit. So they have a different way of identifying things. It's like a cat, dog, lion type shit. Like a lion is not a cat, but they both are cats, right? So if somebody says, oh my God, that is a lion. You're like, what are you talking about? That's not a lion, that's a cat. So it's like an abuser in their mind is a cat, but an abuser in your mind is a lion. They're both cats. but one is bigger and more ferocious than the other one. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. So we can't get mad at other people for not having the same interpretation of information as we do.
Right. Right.
Because sadly, we all have the right to interpret things the way we see them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Freedom of speech.
Salute everybody. Salute. I always have to come up and say thank you for having me up. Salute
Mike.
to everybody on the panel. And what you just said is very profound. And people process grief differently. People process abuse differently. So what you're saying is exactly right. So you can't put someone down for staying in the situation, but not everyone has that gumption to get out, you know, and abuse breeds abuse. And I think that, you know, what you're saying is very true. I think Cassie stepping out and going on the limb, and she was the catalyst for all this stuff that we're seeing now. She was the one that broke the silence and showed the world what a monster this man is. And it's not just him. It's a lot of men. And it's also some women. Now, no, please, ladies, don't get mad at me. But there are also women.
Fuck that. They be
no, I agree.
People too.
Yeah, there are women
apologizing over here. Like, no, say what you got to say.
But there are women that are predators as well. There's men and women who are predators. Yeah. And it's predatory behavior. But I think Cassie, and she got the money. So someone had asked earlier in the chat, you know, do you think that she'll testify against him? It depends on her NDA. She got a lot of money. He paid her, what, 24 hours? He gave her $30 million in 24 hours. She's got the goods on him. Now, if you're asking me this, she may not have to testify, but maybe some USB drives might show up to some agents.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know, you know, in an undisclosed envelope, you know, you know what I'm saying? So, but he's cooked. He's cooked. And the thing is that growing up in New York and stuff, I was a big Bad Boy fan. I love Biggie. I love Puffy, you know, growing up, you know, and to see, and nothing against Biggie, rest in peace. Biggie didn't have anything to do with this. I'm saying, but like to see Puffy's behavior, I mean, to me, it makes me disgusted to ever be a fan of him. What do you think?
But what if Biggie did see some things? Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Where is it? It's not that, is hold on. I got something that'll have you like, oh crap. Here it is right here. Hold on, I'm gonna show it to you. Biggie may have known, because I got footage of Biggie being his Juicy video. It was in the Juicy video, he was complicit to Diddy liking men, because in Diddy's video, there was a girl in the bathroom, and she pulled up her skirt and started peeing in a urinal like a man. And that same girl, you gotta think about this, that same girl in the video, that means they were acting. She was peeing in the urinal as an act. It was an act. So they didn't walk in on nobody. They said, cut. All right, now going to front, right? So this is intentional. He was flirting with the same girl when he said, so it's two different videos. When he was in the club, he was like, who you be with? Da, 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 da. He was literally talking to the same person that was in the men's bathroom, pulling up their skirt like they had a penis. It's the same word. So he was flirting with a trans person way back then. Biggie was, and in the Juicy video, it was a part of the video where Diddy was dancing with a dude that had a crop top on like a girl. So go ahead, because I have footage right here.
No, you're right. You're right. So what you just explained is basically the precursors for like transsexual, like. No,
whoa, come on, y'all, please.
No, I'm saying, you know, like, all right, alternate S word.
Lifestyle people.
Alternate lifestyle. But the thing is that when you're so basically what I'm trying to say is, it seems to me, and if anybody agrees with me, it seems like they're showing their intentions subliminally. Like they're showing you what they want, but we're not picking up on it because they do it in a way where we're not really understanding what's going on. But the symbolism is what you're talking about. The symbolism.
I'm just saying, Biggie was complicit to all that shit. So let's watch this real quick, and I want to see what you think about this.
What you got to say now? What you got to say now? You ain't got shit to say. When you put your girl on the snap, baby, yo, baby. I mean, shit getting weird. Come on, baby. It's hot outside. You fucking wrapped up in that blanket. Let's go jog on the beach.
Ooh, if you know, you know.
I got a lot of stuff on your mind, you know what I'm saying? You're writing this song for like 30 days. There ain't no excuse for it.
So I'm gonna skip a little bit because there's music playing.
When Puffy's bodyguard Gene Deal said this.
How you gonna take me with you and you broke? He said, I'm.
When Puffy's bodyguard Gene. It's a video of Puff Daddy saying Biggie was taking way too long to write a song, but there's a lot more going on than what's just happening on the surface. Now, if you know what was going on in Biggie's head during this time period, you know exactly why he was taking his time while writing that song. Remember when Puffy's bodyguard Gene Deal said this?
How you gonna take me with you and you broke? He said, I'm broke. I said, yeah, you broke, man. And he was like, yo, how you know that? I said, talk and run their mouth big.
Gene Deal spent a lot of time around Biggie during the last days of his life and had the inside scoop about what Biggie was actually planning on doing. According to him, the Notorious B.I.G. was flat broke because he was locked in a bad contract with Bad Boy, but was planning on leaving the label for another record label.
He said, but I'm about to get this money. Yeah, look at this. I think the contract was for so many years for like, it comes out to like $62 million. That's what I said. I'm like, damn.
All of these moves would have been made during the time Biggie was recording Life After Death, so it would make a lot of sense as to why Biggie was taking his time writing a song, and saying his reason for doing so was because he had a lot on his mind. Now, the rumor mill says that Puffy would have got wind of this, and would have tried to stop Biggie from leaving the label by any means necessary, which led us to the events of March 9th, 1997.
That's why he died.
That's why I said there was a lot more happening in this video than what you see on the surface.
Because the thing about it is, when you are a witness to all these different things and now you want to leave the perpetrator, it's almost like Cassie trying to leave Diddy.
The Notorious B.I.G. had his reasons for taking his time while writing the song, and there's a pretty solid chance that Puffy knew exactly what was going on and made the remark as a way to kind of play mind games with Biggie. Now that you're armed with this knowledge, watch this clip again and tell me if you can sort of sense some tension in the room. Check this out.
You've been writing this 30 days now. So you should be, you know what I'm saying? I got a lot of stuff on your mind, you know what I'm saying? You're writing this like 30 months. There ain't no excuse for that. But too much ball. So, you know. Really got nothing to do with that. You going to jail now?
So what are y'all thoughts on that and Biggie being complicit to all this stuff? And the reason why he died is because Biggie was a part of all that nasty shit in the first place. Go ahead, Mike.
You can see the guilt on his face. I mean, you can basically see Diddy is the Diddy is a classic narcissist sociopath. You know what I'm saying? He tries to control everybody around him, everything that's going on. He's a little man trying to be this big puff. You know, he called him Puff Daddy because he would puff his chest out, right? But that's a literal application of basically he's trying to be bigger than he really is. And people fall for it. So he finds people that he can manipulate.
Well, he actually was bigger than he really was. Like he never went to prison because he's bigger than he really was, because it's covers of his parents. He really was bigger than he really was.
But the thing with P. Diddy is that he always had those really, really rich handlers, the Clive Owens, you know, the people like, you know, the really, really rich.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but now they're turning their back on him. So
because
now
he's suing the liquor company.
That's it. And Ciroc dropped him, and you know, they're trying to say, and people are trying to say it was a racial move. They're going to give it to 50 Cent, another black man. It has nothing to do with race. They want to get it. Everybody around wants to get away from Diddy. They knew he was a piece of garbage for years and years and years. Well, they never said anything about it because they were getting paid. They were getting paid. So they never said anything. So is money worth more than your heart? To me, it's not. I'd rather die broke and go to heaven or die rich and go down.
I get it.
That's just me. That's me as a Christian.
Yeah, go ahead, Dana.
Listen to what Mike just said. And remember what I first came on here saying. Who did he say they was giving the alcohol company to?
50.
He said 50 Cent.
50 Cent. Yeah.
Diddy's son's diss song was towards 50 Cent. We're going to pow you because you're going after our next guy.
Yeah.
Huh? I'm confused.
Diddy's son, his diss song was towards 50 Cent. Now, if the powers that be want to put 50 Cent in charge of the alcohol and now you're dissing 50 Cent, let's release this footage about Diddy and get that off of 50.
Now that makes all of the sense in the world.
Yeah.
That adds more sense to what I already thought. You're right. Because now you're kind of like, because if you're starting problems with 50 Cent and say 50 Cent retaliates, and not like physically, but he means you to death and causes problems, and say it turns into, like, as an example, Drake and Kendrick Lamar turned into the end of Drake's career because Drake was messing with Kendrick Lamar, right? So if you look at 50 Cent messing with people, right? What if somebody really has something on 50 Cent and 50 Cent don't know it, and then say P. Diddy spent a whole bunch of time and money finding out something about 50 Cent, right? And he turns around and Kendrick Lamar's 50 Cent, just as an example, right? And now 50 Cent is looking bad, and 50 Cent was the person that was going to buy the liquor company. Now the liquor company isn't going to sell because 50 Cent is named bad. So like what y'all are saying with Diddy's son, who is probably stupid enough to just do whatever, Diddy's son going against 50 Cent. If Diddy's son actually has something crazy on 50 Cent and he turns around and Drake's 50 Cent, now it plummets the investment that the liquor company was going to make with 50 Cent. So put this out to pow Diddy.
Yeah. And the funniest thing about this whole thing is, I'm sorry to interrupt, but all these people are talking about have enough money to retire 10 times over. This is the most.
Diddy lost all his money because it actually wasn't money; it was funding.
It's assets. He has assets.
Well, no, it's not assets because the asset isn't his. Ciroc and I got the video. Ciroc, none of that shit was his. P. Diddy was still asking for money. He was asking for money. P. Diddy doesn't have a job. His only job was to push Ciroc. But when they cut Ciroc, when they started, hold on, I got a video. I'll let P. Diddy say it himself. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it?
Yeah, I thought Ciroc was Diddy too, but turns out
No,
that
it wasn't.
it was never his. It was never his.
Okay, I know exactly.
Theirs.
It's never theirs. Exactly. It's never theirs. All right, here it is right here. It's gonna be loud. It's gonna be loud. It's gonna be loud. It's gonna be loud. Be careful. It's gonna be loud.
For well over 30 years.
Okay, so right here.
Right. And De Leon comes out, and then they buy Casamigos from George Clooney and them for $400 million. So of course, if I just spent $400 million or something, or however much they gave George Clooney his partner, I'm gonna start pushing that.
Yeah.
And De Leon kind of got pushed on the back burner. And then Puff all of a sudden decides to sue them for racial discrimination. All of this shit comes out right after that.
So then here goes P. Diddy right here.
Found out that there was zero agave folio.
Up in Diddy's house's LA mansion, punchline was they found something everybody been looking for. Farnsworth Bentley.
And I just need the same 24 hours as y'all giving everybody else in your portfolio. And I couldn't get that. I had to send my people down to Mexico. They went down to Mexico, and when they got down there, they found out that there was zero agave planted for De Leon. So there was no plan for us to be successful. There was no equal treatment. The other brands, they had Agave Planet. They had no Agave Planet for me. And sometimes you have to go check even your partners to see what's really going on. And so when I saw that, I was like, nah, I'm going to fight because it's bigger than me. It's about not just me, it's about we, it's about all of us. So I chose my purpose.
He said all of us. He was talking about Drake, like people like Drake,
over profit.
people who like little girls.
And that's the whole Deleon situation.
Diddy's for.
So that right there shows you, like, we're actually putting all the pieces together. So he never, so when you said, Mike, that he had money, he didn't have money. He had their money. They gave him, like, you got what I'm saying? Okay. Say I sign a $400 million agreement, right? Or whatever. They just gave me money as an advance. And it's like, if you market this product well enough, you can keep the 400 million. But if I don't get my money back, you owe me money. You get what I'm saying? Because it's an advance. It's not actual money. So they gave him all this money as an advance to run around, talk about, hey, Ciroc, buy Ciroc, right? For all these years, right? So all the money that he was spending was advance money from DeLeon or whoever. So now when they take their money back, he ain't got no money because it was all a loan. That's why he's broke. Not broke, but
Can I give you the layman's term example of what
go
you're
ahead.
saying? So it's like when you walk into the bank and they're like, "Hey, this is our bank president or a bank." They gave him some huge title, right? And it's always somebody that's somewhat attractive. They're nice. They're very sweet. They're the face of the bank.
Right.
Okay.
He don't run nothing. He don't
But he
own
don't
nothing.
run nothing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So these people are the faces of products. They'll go on their Instagram and be like, I've got a liquor co, I've got this, I. When in reality, they're just like a
A
mascot.
representative of him. So
Yeah.
somebody said in the chat, he has other investments. I'm not saying the man doesn't have any money. I said he's broke as far as rich people are.
What,
Because
human trafficking?
he owes more money than he has. Rich people always owe somebody because you put out a certain amount of money and you wait for the investment to come back in 5 years. Just like DeLeon did with P. Diddy. P. Diddy does that with other people. So at the end of the day, he actually probably is in the negative, but he has access to money because his credit is so good with all these companies. So he has access to money, but in all honesty, he probably doesn't have money.
He's probably
you're right.
like
You're right. So,
third row of the pyramid scheme. Have y'all seen that drawing?
excuse me.
And as long as he's in the third row, he always has access to other people's money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's defaulting on these loans that were given to him to upfront him money. He's defaulting on them is what you're trying to allude to. But he can always get another line of credit, but he'll default on that one as well. So at one point, no bank's going to give him any more line of credit because if they see these other lines of credit aren't getting paid, they're not going to give him no front. They're not going to front you no money. It's like if I borrow $1,000 from you, right? And I owe $1,000 to 10 other people. Just giving you an example. And I come to you and I say I need another 1,000. Nah, man. You haven't paid them.
I disagree.
I'm not giving no money.
I disagree.
Because at one point the bank's going to cut you off. If you're not paying your debts, the bank will cut you off. They don't want to take the risk. They don't want to take the risk.
Power. He still has power, and that's the thing that people don't understand. Diddy has 20 million followers on Instagram, right? Me as an example.
I do not know.
Do you think if I was to say, hey, Diddy, I know you're going through all this shit, so your price may be lower. Let me pay you $100,000 to push my card game. I would make that money back in a day.
Possible.
So the point is, regardless of what Diddy is going through, he still has power because he has influence over some people who still might mess with him. So if
you're
right
saying-
now he goes on his Instagram page and says, yo, forget about whatever y'all going through, buy this Deep Discussions card game, I will actually probably make $1 million in probably a month. So I just want you to know that I would still make money off of Diddy, even though Diddy is going through this shit.
Because you're saying that he's marketable. He's a marketable, he's a marketable person. He has
Not
the influence.
really. No, he's not marketable. He still has influence. Is marketable and influence. He's not marketable, but he has enough influence to tell somebody to do something and they'll do it.
Sure.
Yeah, he
has enough
can
eyes.
influence. Yeah, he can influence the masses. That's what he's talking about.
If he goes live
Yeah.
right now, everybody's watching because we nosy. If he turns around and put my card game up, they're not gonna separate. Like, I'm not buying a card game because it's Diddy. They like, oh, what's that card game? They don't care. They don't put the two together. They like, oh, what's that? And they're gonna go look it up and like, oh shit, I'm gonna buy the card game. They're not gonna say I'm not buying a card game because of Diddy. If that's the case, they wouldn't be on his live.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense.
Right. So he still has money making abilities because he has 20 million followers, and people are so nosy where if he goes live, they still gonna watch his shit.
Right, especially now.
Huh?
Especially now.
Especially now. So he actually has more influence now. If somebody was to put their product and link it to Diddy, now would I catch flack if they said Mr. Let Go's card game? Oh, you working with P. Diddy. Now I got problems, but my card game alone by itself would make money. So I would make $1 million off of P. Diddy, but once they realize who's connected to the card game, then I would turn around and be like, Mr. Lego's trash because he worked with P. Diddy.
Cancel.
The double-edged sword.
Right, the double-edged sword. Right. The card game would sell, but I would turn around and lose credibility. But I make $1 million in a month.
If that.
Probably more than that. Yeah.
It's like a conundrum, where it's like it just, what do I do? What decision do I make? Do I go for the money? Do I go for my pride? What do I do? Am I going to want the flack that it's going to give me? So no, you make a perfect point. You make a really perfect point.
Because at the end of the day, if I was to go, not saying I would do it, but if I was to go to P. Diddy and say, I pay you $100,000, I know you go, ain't nobody else messing with you. Here's $100,000. Talk about my card game, for a whole month, and here's $100,000, and you can hold up, and I will make say I make $5 million in a month. I'd be like, I don't care if y'all don't. Not saying I would do it, but a certain person might be like, man, fuck y'all. I got $5 million. I don't care if y'all cancel me. I got my money. I don't have to do nothing no more. I don't have to do no videos. I could retire off $5 million and just be with my kids. I don't care what nobody on social media thinks of me. I can't. I'll cut off my shit off and say, I got $5 million. Leave me alone.
Like I said, it all depends on your moral compass. If you're cool with that, and you take that money and you go, hey, listen, you just schooled them. You just schooled the world. You schooled them. Yeah. But at the same token, some people don't want to. Some people value their legacy more than money. But like I said, I don't judge anybody. If you're asking me,
but do you see how Diddy still has power in that way?
Yeah. If I can get me a whole bag of money and bounce out, leave the country, go retire somewhere, I'm gone. I'm gone.
Or don't connect your product to you, and people don't know who the hell card game this is, and they got $5 million and still is able to not be canceled.
But see, that's the key. The key is the ultimate pow for P. Diddy is snatching him of his ranking, of his power in this whole
The ranking part, I agree.
triangle. And that's what they're doing step by step. It may take a little time, but P. Diddy gonna be like Meek Mills if they don't catch him up. I think the feds are trying to get him on the RICO and the trafficking. That I think he'll go to jail, but not for what that video is. But it's just showing the feds his character if they hadn't seen it already. So
Sure.
like this is the character that you're dealing with. So
Yes.
don't think that it's not believable that he's running people and selling people, maybe even drugs, and
And the
you
white
know.
boy that was his drug mule just settled
Yeah, yeah. He
criminally.
He
flipped.
took a plea deal?
He took a plea
Oh,
deal. Yeah.
he flipped on him. He flipped on him hard. He gave him all the goods. He
Well,
flipped on him.
do you know that? Because I have been to jail before when I was young, and I actually took the same plea deal as he did. He went on something called the diversion program, and I went on a diversion program when I went to jail, and I avoided felonies and shit because I didn't have no record. So when you don't have a record and it's a non-violent crime, which mine was also, you can go get in a diversion program and take this program and get your stuff expunged. So whether he gave it up or not, I don't think he gave up anything, because you get that granted to you because it's a non-violent crime. You don't have to snitch on nobody. It's a
Well,
diversion program.
it'll be interesting to see what happens. It'll be interesting to see if he actually gave any phone numbers,
'Cause
emails.
I didn't have to snitch on nobody.
No, I'm saying to see what he did. There's something fishy about his particular case.
I'm just letting you know, if
Yeah.
you get caught doing something and is a non-violent crime and you do not have a record and you have enough money to pay for a good lawyer, you're going to get the diversion program regardless of what.
Yeah, I got you.
And
Well, like
I didn't have to snitch on nobody.
Well, I don't know if he did or not, but it's interesting to see how it's going to unfold. What I'm trying to say, because people are chirping, saying that he maybe gave HSI like information on
Yeah.
trafficking and stuff like that. I don't know. Who knows?
So all I'm saying is, when it comes to P. Diddy and his situation, he still has power as long as he has his 20 million followers or whatever. He can go anywhere and get a whole bunch of eyes on him, because you got to remember, the marketability of P. Diddy is the fact that all these people are going to look at P. Diddy the next time he pops up somewhere and says, "Hey y'all, I'm going to tell y'all what's really happening at 2:00. He'll have 1 million people watching at 2:00, regardless of what we think. And if he pops up and says, "Hey, and by the way, buy this," they're gonna buy it.
No doubt. I agree with you. I'm not disagreeing with you.
And whoever
hey,
paid him to put that up is going to be paid. That's all I'm saying.
What
gentlemen,
percentage of people do you think are gonna buy it?
but gentlemen and ladies, thanks for having me up. I'm gonna eat. My dinner's ready. I'm gonna eat some dinner. Thank you for having me up. I very much appreciate the conversation.
No problem, Mike. I appreciate you, Mike.
A salute to you.
So
I was gonna say
it's usually 10%. 10% of 1 million is 100,000 people. So 100,000 people would probably buy out of 1 million people watching.
Okay.
But go ahead,
can you
Dana.
hear me, Aaron?
Uh-huh.
I was gonna say, if you pay attention to, I don't know if you watched the Jeffrey Epstein documentary.
Trying not to say his name, because I think I'm not sure. I think that's the algorithm thing too. I think I'm
Okay.
not sure. Okay.
All right. Remember when he first did his first trial, they basically let him know you are the fall guy. He went along with it, and they covered it up for him, right? He was like, "All right, I'll be the fall guy." They covered it up. They was like, "Kind of lay low. We'll get you out of it. Just lay low. Stop doing what you're doing."
Yeah.
He went back to doing what he was doing. They let him go to jail. Then he disappeared in jail.
He disappeared. He did not die. He disappeared. I agree.
So now look at Diddy. They said, "Okay, you're gonna be the fall guy. Lay low." Now your son's making a diss track. What are you doing? You know you're the fall guy. You gotta kind of lay low. What is this kind of coming up?
You have to scare the shit out of P. Diddy to get P. Diddy to tell his son to shut the hell up.
Shut up. Yep.
I totally agree. So what you're saying is really making sense, because it's like, all right, they're like, whoever, whether bad guy, good guy, they're like, yo, Why the hell is he starting shit? Get your son. Hey, I can't control him. Oh, you can't control him? Okay, boom. Next thing you know, you're like, yo, what are you doing? Control your son. Okay. Totally agree.
I could see him being like, oh, he's an adult. I'm telling him not to do that, but I can't stop these kids from being on social media. And they said, oh, okay, we got it.
And now he's like, either do something about your big-headed ass son, or we're gonna release some other shit. And he's like, okay.
He evil. He'll do something and somebody will get hurt.
Well, the powers that be don't care whether it's the feds or whether it's bad guys. If they don't want his son to say something because they're trying to put together a case and his stupid ass son is messing up the case or messing up the other side of the case, the bad guys, do something about your son. You know what I'm saying? So I totally agree.
And
Dana
everybody, listen, dismissed his baby mother, Misa Hilton. Remember when their son got a DUI? And she said, I don't know what's about to come down on you, but give me my son back because I don't want him in that mess. And that was like the start of it. She's like, y'all are over there drinking, doing drugs, doing all of that. She's like, I don't want my son to be involved with your downfall. And everybody was like getting on her. And she's like, no, y'all are not paying attention. You think him and Young Miami drinking every night and doing all those things. This is not good.
And check this out. When I went on Diddy's page, Misa Hilton, she's in, well, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 women as well as him in one post, but it's 5 women. I'm sure they're pushing some type of something. And this is okay, so one is Misa Hilton, whatever her name is. Another one is P. Diddy's mom, and the other one is Kim Porter. Those are the women. I don't know who this other woman is, but somebody named Sarah. So they're not afraid of being on his stuff. So just keep that in mind. Just speaking to anybody watching, P. Diddy still has a lot of power. Because these women, of course, Kim Porter isn't here anymore, but these other women are still alive. They don't mind being on P. Diddy stuff because P. Diddy still has 20 million eyes. The eyes are the eyes. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Unfortunately. That's the way the world works now.
No, the world always worked like that. Shit.
Yeah, but it's a lot easier digitally.
I can agree with that. But yeah, at the end of the day, people are going to people, and people are nosy, and people enjoy watching car accidents. So if you become a car accident, you're probably going to make more money than you did at first. You know what I'm saying?
Crazy, but you're right.
Yeah.
People live for the drama.
They live for the drama. So yeah, that's really it. So I'm finna go get something to eat because y'all wouldn't believe this. I have not eaten all day. I was going to eat after the first live stream, and then this P. Diddy stuff came, and it's 6:49, and I still ain't ate. But guess what? It's a good thing because that has helped my intermittent fasting even more. And I actually forgot that I was hungry because the conversation was so good. So yeah. So I'm finna.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for pulling up. Thank you for pulling up, Dana. Thank you, Yoselin. So I'll talk to y'all later. But before y'all leave, y'all already know what I'm about to say. So make sure
buy
to
my
do
card game, hit the like button.
Right. Exactly. So hit the like button, y'all. Share this video and buy my freaking card game.
How about we meet up at a coffee shop and play this fun dating card game? We'll have fun.
And to the people who have already bought my card game, thank you so much. I got a bunch of people buying my card game, so I thank you. So the people who have not bought my card game, hit the like button and buy my card game.
Hey, how about we meet up at a coffee shop and play this fun dating card game? We'll have fun and see if we're compatible all at the same time.
Ooh, what's the name of the game?
It's called Deeper Discussions.
I'm down.
Okay, meet you at 6.
Fellas, buy this card game. Ladies, buy this card game. Buy about 2 or 3 card games. The main reason why people can't stay together isn't because they don't like each other no more. It's actually because their present family issues come up or their past family issues come up. But when you play Deeper Discussions, you'll be able to understand a person's family issues up front.
This game can be played with either 2 people or an entire group. So have fun.
Question number 1. Name a time when money was the main factor why a relationship went bad.
Deeper Discussions Dating Edition. Again, these cards are good for vetting a potential boyfriend,
Candidate.
a potential girlfriend, a potential husband, a potential wife. Actually, these cards are so soft and silky, by the way. Like
They ain't gonna get
really
wore out.
durable.
A dating card game for introverts who have a hard time asking the much needed compatibility questions. Deeper Discussions, the card game.
What's going on, Clifton? Shout out to Tennessee.